Happy hump day. What's up, everyone? My name is Laura, aka Perplexed. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Grab a seat. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Whoop. And we are live on here. We're also live over on Kick. If you're on Kick, go give us some love over there. Today's going to be a long one. We got so much to cover. Sorry I started late. I was on the phone with Jess going over some stuff because I wanted to make sure that, we cross every T and dot every I. And there's some stuff with ET from last night that put me over the edge. And there's some stuff with, someone that's going to be in trouble. Forgery is illegal, Brittany. That's not good. When you submit legal documents, you kind of don't want to forge them or have them forged, but we'll get into all of it. There's a lot to uncover. There's a lot to go over. So let's do it.
The shit show. Ladies and gentlemen, step right the fuck up. Welcome to the shit show. Come in, sit down, and shut the fuck up. Welcome to the shit show. Lights out, mask on. Whole damn temp been cursed since the day I was born. Red nose on the demon, black smoke in the air. Everybody fake smiling like they ain't scared. Step in the ring if you think you're tough. Bet your whole damn soul you ain't built for this stuff. Got lions off the chain and they hungry as hell. This ain't no fun house, bitch. This is personal hell. Cotton candy lies and a knife in the bag. Pretty little clowns all dressed in black. Everybody cheer when the train goes off. Then act surprised when I cut shit off. You came for a show, now you're part of the pain. Every damn ticket got blood in the stain. Ain't no refunds, ain't no saving face. Once you in my circus, you know your place. Smile for the crowd, yeah, dance like a freak. Everybody loud to the monsters speak. You wanted chaos, well here it is. A middle finger wrapped in a twisted kiss. Welcome to the shit show. Come and sit down, shut the fuck up. Whole damn place going down, burning up. Welcome to the shit show, where the freaks all bite and the weak get cut. If you can't hang, then get the fuck up out of my circus. Welcome to the shit show. Blood on the stage, no mercy, no luck. Smile for the camera while the whole world erupts. Welcome to the shit show. Come and sit down, shut the fuck up. Step right in, motherfucker. You're one of us. Ringmaster grin with a switchblade smile. I've been walking this wire for a long damn while. Everybody watching, hoping I fall, but I built this tent from the bricks in my walls. Tightrope tension, snapback rage. I was born in the fire, now I own this stage. Every damn clown wanna talk that shit till I drag 'em backstage and I empty the clip. Got decorated twisted heads upside down. No. King of the wreckage, I run this town. No. House full of snakes and sequins and pearls. Fake ass kings and plastic girls. This ain't entertainment, this is survival. I don't need love, I came for revival. You can laugh all day till the floorboards crack, then I send that laughter straight to black. Smile for the crowd, yeah, dance like a freak. Everybody loud till the monsters speak. You wanted madness, you wanted war. Now the whole damn tent wants more. Welcome to the shit show. Come and sit down, shut the fuck up. Whole damn place going down, burning up. Welcome to the shit show, where the freaks all bite and the weak get cut. If you can't hang, then get the fuck up out of my circus. Welcome to the shit show. Blood on the stage, no mercy, no luck. Smile for the camera while the whole world erupts. Welcome to the shit show. Come and sit down, shut the fuck up. Step right in, motherfucker. You're one of us. Step right up. Step right up. To the greatest wreck you ever saw. Burn it down. Burn it down. Let the whole damn crowd want more. Hey. Freaks in the front, hey. Blood in the drums. Hey. Everybody scream when the nightmare comes. This ain't a circus. This is a warning. This ain't a joke. This is me storming. To every fake face, every let the show begin. Welcome to the shit show. Come and sit down, shut the fuck up. Whole damn pen about to self-destruct. Welcome to the shit show, where the wild ones rise and the weak get crushed. If you got a problem, bitch, get dragged in the dust. Welcome to the shit show. No peace, no rules, no saints, no trust, just chaos, rage, and a whole lot of rust. Welcome to the shit show. Come and sit down, shut the fuck up. Step right in, motherfucker. Now the show's fucked up. Thank you for coming. We know you'll never be the same. Now get the fuck out! Or stay and burn with the rest of us. Shit Show Ringmaster Part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You thought the curtain closed? Nah, this circus never ends. The clowns got meaner, the lions got hungrier, and me, I'm still the motherfucking ringmaster. Step right up, watch the whole damn thing burn. Every scar on my skin is a lesson I learned. Got a smile on my face while the world's in flames. Everybody wants peace, but they're all playing games. Got snakes in the crowd wearing best friend masks, talking behind my back while they smile when I pass. But I see every move, every fake ass grin. I've been living in the darkness, let the nightmare begin. The tent's falling down, but I'm holding the ropes. Half these people talk loud, but they're losing all hope. Everybody wants a seat till the monsters arrive, and they're running for the exits just to stay alive. Hear the crowd scream loud, hear the chaos grow. Another broken soul in the front row. This ain't entertainment, this is survival tonight. Welcome to the madness underneath the spotlight. I'm the ringmaster of the shit show, cracking that whip while the whole thing explodes. Fire in the air and the devil below. Everybody watching but nobody knows. I'm the ringmaster of the shit show, king of the wreckage and the broken roads. If you're looking for mercy, you're too damn late. Welcome back to the circus of hate. The bearded lady's drinking, the clown lost his mind. Strong man's throwing punches and he's running out of time. Acrobats falling from the top of the tent, and the crowd keeps cheering like it all makes sense. Every ticket sold was another damn lie. Every smile in the crowd got a demon inside. I built this place from blood, sweat, pain, and rage. Now the whole world's trapped inside my cage. Try to bury me again, better dig deeper this time. I'm the voice in your head and the reason you hide. You created this monster, now you're scared what you made. So grab some popcorn while the whole thing decays. You wanted a villain? Congratulations, you built one. Every lie, every betrayal, every fake friend, every knife in my back. You fed the beast, now sit the fuck down and watch the show. I'm the ringmaster of the shit show, standing on the ashes while the flames still grow. No saving the circus, it's too far gone, but I'll be the last one standing when the crowd moves on. I'm the ringmaster of the shit show, laughing while the whole damn kingdom folds. When the final curtain crashes to the floor, you'll be begging for part 3, and I'll still be wanting more. Ladies and gentlemen, the circus is closed. Until tomorrow! Until tomorrow.
All right. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to my 14 viewers over on Kick and my 63 over here. So, all right, since there's so much to go over, I'm not even gonna like fuck around. Let's just get right into it. First thing I'm gonna review is Britney's bullshit this morning. And I'm only going to review the part that was related to me because there's so much other stuff to go over. But I want to start with that because it's short. Thank you, Midwest. It's short and it just goes, it kind of lays out the groundwork about what a fucking idiot she is and how she takes one thing of something and twist it into her own fucking narrative instead of actually listening to what was said or why it was said. Hey, Wolf. So let me pull that up first. And I want to thank the person for recording it for me. Oh. Okay. Whoop. Hello. All right.
Oh, Mojo, you go if okay, I'll tell you what. Go watch Makeup Mobsters live from yesterday.
I would not recommend that, but feel free to. And I love how she keeps promoting someone who does not promote her and doesn't even like her. You're such an idiot. But carry on.
Go watch Makeup Mobsters live from yesterday. If y'all haven't watched it, it's imperative that you watch it actually because that's where I will never give Lion Lyra a view, and neither should you guys. So go over and watch it on Makeup Mob.
Yeah, don't watch me because I tell the truth, unlike Brittany, who wants to lie her ass off. So, of course, she's telling people don't watch Laura. Yeah, of course you're going to say that, you fucking idiot. But wait till you hear what I got to say today, Brittany. And you got some splaining to do.
Mobster, and you'll see there where this idiot's saying that I fake my accent and pretend to be.
I have never said that she faked an accent ever in my entire fucking life. I said she faked her tone. I never said she faked an accent. That would be the dumbest fucking thing ever. But yeah, carry on. But Stalker, it's very important. I'm glad she brings this up though, because it just proves my whole point.
Like all lovey towards Emmy because I want people to think I'm a good mom. Listen, I don't care what you think of me, weirdo. I really don't, especially the likes of you and your ilk.
But you do, because you're talking about it.
I couldn't care less what I couldn't care less what your friends, all the people you hang out with. I don't care what any of y'all think of me, honestly. So you can hang that up. I know that you kind of
You also don't care what the courts thought of you, which is why you pled guilty yesterday to neglect of not taking your kids to school. Go ahead, deny it again, Brittany.
project onto me how you feel and what you think, but I don't care, and I certainly don't.
Bitch, I have 3 successful kids in school, in college. Where are yours? Oh, that's right. They would be indoctrinated. My bad. Yeah, Brittany. I wasn't on my back at 15 getting fucking pregnant. So, yeah, nice try.
Need your advice. But this woman is giving me advice on how to raise Emmy, and she says that I should not be talking to Emmy the way that I do. That at this point, I should be telling Emmy.
Brittany, you think holding a baby is spoiling them. You can't spoil a fucking baby. Like, there is no way to spoil a baby. You could spoil a toddler, but you can't spoil a baby. The fact that you don't hold your fucking baby, you are disgusting. Like, you are a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit mom. You're a piece of shit girlfriend. You're a piece of shit person. And if you don't like it, then fucking change, bitch. Because these are all facts.
This is a pink bottle. The bottle is pink. I'm going to give you 3 scoops of formula. 1, 2.
Yes, Brittany, if you knew anything about being a mom, that starts from birth. And the reason why that starts from birth is because they comprehend stuff. You don't wait until they're 2 to start doing that. You do that at birth, Brittany. That's how you fucking raise your baby. That's why I have 3 very intelligent kids, and, well, we know. I don't need to say anymore.
2, 3. Laura, she is not a toddler. I don't know if you are aware of the difference between an infant and a baby and a toddler. She is not a toddler.
Again, Brittany, I tried giving you really good advice, and I guess when you're a low life like you are, you don't take it as advice. You take it as you know what you're doing. Let me guess, Brittany, you never read to your baby in the womb, right? I'm going to take an educated guess because according to your theory, there's no reason to. You would have no reason to read to her in the womb, right, Brittany? God, you're such an ignorant person. It's kinda sad. Not really, it's funny, but it's sad at the same time. I know it went right over her head. She's so dumb.
I totally get talking to your baby and trying to teach them proper grammar and English and colors and numbers and all that. I got 5 others besides her. I'm
5 others, and 3 of them you didn't raise. She really doesn't understand motherhood. I totally agree with that, Miss Liva Bird.
fully aware of it. And I can certainly tell you, I'm not teaching my baby how to count at 4 months old.
Why not? Why wouldn't you teach her how to count? Brittany, you should be teaching her this at all times. That's a really good point, Finley. Then why would she watch Miss Rachel, Brittany? That's all Miss Rachel does. So why would she watch Miss Rachel? Or was that a lie too? I'm just curious.
I like hearing her say that really made it. Oh my God, it sounded so ignorant.
Brittany, the only thing ignorant is you. And you are proving that 100% right now. I understand Miss Rachel is probably her babysitter, but that's what Miss Rachel does. So if she can't understand her own mother doing it, how would she understand Miss Rachel doing it? Just curious. Exactly, Cat Pact. Did that with my son, and he was reading whole books by the time he was 2. Exactly. She's so stupid.
Oh, say oh. Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Brittany J. Shout out to you and everyone in chat. Hope you're doing well and having a good Wednesday. Hope everyone is doing well with the baby. Aw, everything is going well. Yeah, she's great. Oh, well, Ferris Bueller, that's your opinion. Everybody's entitled to one. Mojo Juniper. It's your day off. Are you going to drive backwards today, Ferris? Bueller.
Then you got Samara going, yeah, Laura smoked cigarettes too the whole time she was pregnant. And? And? It was 21 years ago. And? And by the way, none of my kids smoke. Can you say the same, Britt? No, you can't. My kids don't smoke. My kids don't vape. Well, Phoenix became a pothead in New York, but what can you do? He's 21.
Britt, you should have played along. Oh, girl, I got this. You just wait. Just you wait, Pickles. What's everybody getting into today?
So now you have, this is where she really gets dumb. Now she has Notorious Ash stating about me drinking the dirty martinis. What these morons are leaving out was why I drank them and why we were even discussing it. Brittany, it's called postpartum. I gave the entire story behind it, that we were talking about postpartum. And the reason why I had this fixation on fucking dirty martinis was due to postpartum. That's a big difference than like your loser ass boyfriend sitting there drinking all day. But you're too fucking stupid to realize that we were talking about postpartum and what postpartum did to me. Because we were talking about Lindsay Clancy case. Do you not hear the whole situation, Brittany? Or do you just think everyone's a fucking low-life loser like you? Don't answer that. It's rhetorical.
Oh, she says that I got to share this because ever since it happened I have just laughed. She's talking about, how horrible of a mom I am and all that and how great she was. And then she proceeds to say, guys, when I had my kids, I craved vodka. I craved dirty martinis. And then she starts talking about her kids when they're infants. She would make a dirty martini. She's drinking straight vodka at 6 a.m. And then she'd have another one at lunch and then another one at dinner. So basically you were zooted and
Actually, no, I never said I had one at dinner. I said I had one during the day and then I had one like at lunchtime. And I also said it was due to postpartum. And I really don't give a fuck about it because postpartum hits people in different ways. Thankfully, I didn't hurt my children or give them away at any point. Didn't have grandma raise them. And yeah, that we were talking about Lindsay Clancy and what happens with postpartum. So I gave my personal story as what happened during me for postpartum. And then, like I said, one day I woke up and all of a sudden I didn't crave him anymore. It was like postpartum was over. So the fact that she's hearing a piece of this and not telling the whole story or why it happens just makes you look like an idiot.
booted all day long. Fucked up.
By the way, Brittany, unlike your boyfriend, I don't get zooted all day long. Having one drink doesn't make you zooted. I'm sorry, but unless you're a diehard alcoholic, having a drink doesn't make you zooted.
And then she goes on to talk about the Percocet she was taking. Girl, sit down.
Yeah, Brittany, they gave you Percocets. And like she's just so dumb. She really thinks that she's like come up with something.
Sit down. Sometimes I feel like her mouth has a brain of its own and it just takes over and just straight karma. All of us just started telling on her damn self. I couldn't even believe it.
Brittany, how did I tell on myself? Can you explain that? I didn't tell on myself at all. I told my situation that I'm not embarrassed of, I'm not ashamed of, I have no issues with. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Your ignorance is too much. Like, it really is too much. But I'll write you when you're in jail, Brittany. Not.
Wait a minute. Emmy's disabled. What the hell? Who said Emmy's disabled?
Okay, Brittany, just so you know, I don't remember ever saying that. However, I did look it up. And yeah, club feet does make you disabled. So for somebody that actually has a child with club feet, I would think you would look it up. Because if you looked it up, you would know that yes, it is classified as a disability. Just saying. Yeah, I've been properly exposed. It is a disability. Just so you know, Brett. And that was that.
Real. And
So I want to thank the person who got that. The rest of her live was nothing but bullshit. Now, here's my question for you guys. Should we do the ET stuff first and then do the 19-page order? Or do you want to do the 19-page order and then the ET stuff? I'm leaving it to you guys. Of course she is, Beck. She steals everything I do. No, 19 page, 19 page. 19 page. All right, so majority of you guys want to do the 19 page. Yeah, but you guys got to hear what he fucking did last night. It was insane. All right. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, now, if anybody in here wants to come up here and help me read all this, someone who has a better voice than me, I'm all for it. So there's a lot to go over, a lot. But not on Kick? Yeah, someone else said that. Like, you can't read documents on Kick? That's new. I'm gonna play stupid. I think so, Bedwolf. Don't show it. You can't show documents on Kick or they will ban you. No shit. All right. Don't show court orders on Kick. You'd be down for 3 months. Oh, wow. Can't show anything on Kick that's identity related. Oh. All right. So what if no docs can be shown on Kick? All right. So I guess we're just going to read it. And thank you for the super chat. Kibi got banned for showing her own docs about her dog. All right. I guess I'm just going to read. All right, let me just put a disclaimer on this, just so everyone knows. This filing was written by ChatGPT. This filing has so many inconsistencies in it that it's not even, it's like written in third person, but it's written by someone else. Brittany did not write this. And you'll hear why I know she didn't write it, because there's certain parts where it's like, and now the defendant, or at one point it's like my defendant. So yeah, Brittany did not write this. But the question that I do have for Brittany is, can you explain how you put this in person? This is a forged signature, Brittany. You did not sign this and give it to the courts in person like this letter states you did. So who signed this for you? You do realize forgery is illegal, right, Brittany? It's like, you do realize that this is a major crime and you can go to jail for it, because there's enough evidence that that's not your handwriting. Yeah, this is about Granny. There's enough evidence out there that this is not your handwriting, and that's not how you sign stuff. And I'm just kind of curious, when did you put in an order that you're pro se anyway? Because there's nothing on the docket that a pro se that you entered pro se. So do you think the courts like are going to do anything for you? No. What they might do is put you in jail and take all your assets. And you should really, really stop listening to people in your chat, because they're not working in your favor. They are as dumb as you are. And whoever wrote this is just as dumb. So without further ado, let's get into it. Dear Office of Judicial Support, I am Brittany Nicole Jackson, the defendant in the above captioned matter, and I am proceeding pro se. Again, you actually have to enter as pro se. How do I know it's forged? All right, I'll explain. In the order, and you guys will hear this, it states that it was it was filed with the courts the same day it was signed. Brittany doesn't live in Pennsylvania. It would have had to been mailed to them. And this was not mailed. This was turned in person. So somebody turned it in person. That's why. That's how I know it was forged. Enclosed for filing, please find my defendant's petition. Okay. That would be third party. My defendant's petition to stay and set aside writ of execution for execution related judicial relief, review of the amount being enforced, alternative garnish relief, and remote appearance, together with the verification proposed order, certificate of service, and supporting exhibits, which, by the way, are not attached. The petition requests an immediate stay of the August 18th writ of execution and related attachment, garnishment, levy, and enforcement proceedings pursuant to PA RCP 3121, pending consideration of the petition. I reside in North Carolina and am representing myself. Because this filing requests the stay of execution, I respectfully request that it is time-stamped, docketed, and in the above captioned manner, and processed or forwarded in accordance with the court's procedure for petitions requesting a stay. In any additional filing procedure, fee, document, copy, or other requirement is necessary before the petition can be presented to the appropriate judge, please notify me as soon as possible at the telephone number or email address above. I'm sure they're going to do that. The petition also requests permission for me to participate remotely by Zoom or another court-approved video on a video conferencing platform if the court schedules an argument, a conference, a testimony, or a hearing. Thank you for your assistance and attention in this filing. Respectfully submitted, Brittany Nicole Jackson, defendant pro se. Enclosures, petition, verification, proposed order, certificate of service, supporting exhibits. Okay. Page 2. Defendant's petition to stay and set aside writ of execution for execution-related jurisdictional relief, review of the amount being enforced, alternative garnishee relief, and remote appearance. Now, before I go on, let me just make something clear, okay? Jess already won this case. Writing a 19-page order is not how this is done. What she should have done in a timely manner, because she only has, a certain amount of time, but in a timely manner, is write a motion, schedule a hearing to argue all of these points. That is how this is done. It is not done where you argue every point in a motion. That's for the courts to do. So whoever wrote this knows no idea about how the courts work, and that's just how it works. If you're going to file something, then make sure that you know what the fuck you're filing, because no judge is reading a 19-page motion. You don't argue shit in paper. You argue shit in person. You just make the highlights of the points of why you need a court order. Why you need a court hearing in order to argue it. So she's just a fucking idiot. Or whoever wrote this is an idiot. They're arguing the whole thing on paper. No, her attorney gets to respond. That's why you do it in person. Alternate garnishee relief. Defendant Brittany Jackson, appearing pro se, respectfully petitions this honorable court under PARCP 3121 and other applicable law for an immediate stay and appropriate relief from the August 18, 2025 writ of execution and related attachment execution proceedings. Defendant expressly does not ask through this petition for a new trial on the factual merits of the underlying cease and desist controversy. There's no controversy. You lost. You started this. There's no controversy. Material facts and limited scope. Defendant is and has been a resident of NC. Plaintiff obtained a default judgment after defendant did not respond or appear in the underlying declaratory action. Defendant acknowledges service of the underlying action and does not base this petition upon defective original service. Defendant does not ask the court to reopen the declaratory action. Good, because it wasn't going to fucking happen anyway. Merely to present the merits of the original cease and desist dispute. There is no dispute. Defendant instead asked the court to address the present execution, whether it should be stayed or set aside under PARCP 3121, whether the property or debts sought through attachment execution are legally attachable, whether the amount being executed upon accurately corresponds to and is supported by the operative judgment and record, and whether appropriate alternative relief should be afforded concerning individual garnishes. The writ identifies a principal judgment amount of $9,872.89, consisting of $9,030 in attorney's fees, $842.89 in court costs, with interest and additional daily interest stated in the execution papers. That interest, I believe, is like $1.50 a day or something. Governing authority for staying or setting aside execution. PARCP 3121 provides that a court may stay execution upon application of a party in interest, upon showing a defect in the writ, levy, or service, or upon any other legal or equitable ground. Well, guess what? There's no problem in it. 3121 authorizes the court, when granting a stay, to impose appropriate terms and conditions or to limit the stay in a reasonable period. You were also supposed to answer this within a reasonable period. 3121 authorizes the court, on application of a party in interest, to set aside the writ, service, or levy for a defect or exemption or immunity or any other legal equitable ground. Well, sorry, Charlie, too late. There's none of this applies. 3121 provides that all objections by the defendant shall be raised at one time. Defendant, therefore, attempts in good faith to present together all execution objections and requests presently known to her. Continued execution, while these issues are unresolved, may result in restraints upon third parties, attachment of property or debts, additional expense, and collection consequences that may be unnecessary or difficult to unwind. Now, I also want to remind Brittany of something with her 19-page order. She's going to get charged for this. Not Brittany. Granny gets charged for this. When you put in a 19-page order, this is going to go against you. Granny shouldn't have to pay for this kind of bullshit. That's what you pay for. That all goes for fees that her lawyer can now tack on because of this bullshit. So instead of owing $10,000, you're probably gonna owe like $20,000 or $15,000. Like, I don't know why you do this to yourself. No, she hasn't, but I spoke to her. She gave me permission. And I told her I wouldn't do it without her permission. Defendant therefore requests an immediate temporary stay of the August 18th writ and all related attachment, garnishment, levy, and enforcement activity pending disposition of this petition. Personal jurisdiction facts relevant to execution. 42 PACS 5322 governs Pennsylvania personal jurisdiction over persons outside the Commonwealth. Section 5322 extends jurisdiction only to the fullest extreme permitted by the Constitution of the U.S. and permits jurisdiction based on the most minimum contact with Pennsylvania allowed under the Constitution. Constitutional due process requires contacts attributable to the defendant that make the exercise of personal jurisdiction constitutionally permissible. See, Brittany, my parents read to me when I was a little baby, and look how good my reading is. Maybe you should consider that. Just saying. Constitutional due process requires contacts attributable to the defendant that make the exercise of personal jurisdiction. I just read that. Defendant resides in North Carolina and performs her work from her home in North Carolina. She does not maintain an office, workplace, or physical business located in Pennsylvania. And that is true. So how did she sign it? Defendant resides in North Carolina. Defendant does not travel to Pennsylvania to perform the work relevant to this controversy. The mere accessibility in Pennsylvania of internet-based content created or transmitted from North Carolina should not, without more, be treated as a physical Pennsylvania workplace or business presence. I don't remember it ever being an issue. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I don't think that was an issue ever. Defendant states that her only other identified Pennsylvania history involved a separate RICO injunction matter in which attorney Joseph Lesniak represented her. Defendant contends that the separate proceeding was unrelated to the controversy underlying this execution. Well, that is not true. That is absolutely not true, because you filed this as a way to get one up on Granny, and guess what? It didn't work, did it? Nope. So sorry. And you lost that case too. On or about September 25th, the Rancher Harris law firm sent plaintiffs a cease and desist communication on defendant's behalf. Defendant acknowledges that fact and does not ask the court in this petition to decide again whether the communication was substantially justified. What? Defendant respectfully requests that the court consider the actual contacts attributable to defendant and the relationship of those contacts to this case when determining any execution-related jurisdictional issue properly before it. Defendant recognizes that personal jurisdiction objections can be subject to waiver if not timely raised. Defendant, therefore, does not represent that the court must reach a collateral attack on the underlying judgment through Rule 3121. Rather, defendant preserves the issue and asks the court to determine what jurisdictional relief, if any, remains legally available in connection with the present execution. Well, I can answer that, Brittany, and that is you're going to lose everything. How's that? No, she's not going to lose everything, but property and debts subject to attachment. Rule 3111 provides that service of a writ upon a garnishee attaches property of the defendant that is legally attachable and is the garnishee possession as well as attachable property that later comes in the garnishee's possession while the attachment remains effective. 3111 restrains a served garnishee from paying a debt, or for the account of the defendant or delivering attachable property of the defendant, except as permitted by rule or further order. Rule 3144 permits interrogatories as a garnishee concerning property of a defendant in the garnishee's possession, including the amount of a debt and the value of location of property. Rule 3145 provides the procedure governing the garnishee's answers and defenses. PARCP 3142 further permits specified preliminary objections concerning attachment, including immunity or exemption of property jurisdiction over the garnishee. The writ names, among other things, Roger Craig Black, Sherry Griffiths, and Gina Howell Woodell as garnishees. Defendant requests that no judgment or continued restraint against an individual garnishee be based merely upon the person's association with defendant. Now, let me explain something. Just so people are clear, the reason why those people are named, well, one, Craig should be named. That's her boyfriend and live-in boyfriend. Just because Craig is a loser and doesn't share his money doesn't mean that she's not hiding money through Craig. It would be very easy for her to siphon money through Craig. The other thing is that the reason why the mods are named, even though she did get Gina wrong, but that will be corrected later. The reason why the mods are named is because right on Alive, those mods told her how to hide money. So it is reasonable for Granny or her lawyer to think that if they're hiding money, if they're telling her to hide money, then they may be hiding money for her. You know, she may have a Cash App set up in their name, thinking that she can't touch it or that the courts won't be able to touch it. And they discuss this on Alive. That's why they're named. So I just want to make everyone clear of how they got named. Okay. Defendant requests that no judgment or continued restraint against an individual garnishee be based merely upon the person's association with the defendant. Rather, attachment should be limited to a legally attachable debt owed to defendant or attachable property of defendant in the garnishee's possession, as provided by the attachment execution rules. If the record establishes that Roger, Sherry, or Gina owes defendant no debt and possess no attachable property belonging to or payable to defendant, defendant requests appropriate relief, releasing that individual from the attachment. That's fair. I agree with that. Defendant requests leave to present truthful sworn declarations, garnishee answers, or other competent evidence concerning whether any such property or debt exists. The amount, attorney fee and costs being executed upon. The amount presently being enforced includes $9,030 in attorney's fees and $842.89 in costs, totaling $9872.89 before the interest stated in the writ. Pennsylvania Appellate Authority recognized in evaluating the reasonableness of attorney fee request where fee review is properly before the court that the party seeking fee bears the initial burden of supporting the hours worked and rates claimed with evidence. See Richards, blah, blah, blah. Okay. This entire paragraph is complete bullshit. How do I know? Because Granny showed me earlier that this was done. So they're throwing this out there for absolutely no reason. They're throwing this out there like they're trying to get one over when it's in the documents. So this is nothing but bullshit. Defendant respectfully requests that the court confirm that the amount presently being executed upon corresponds. I'm not even going to read this because it's just stupid. It goes on to say something that was already done already. Supplemental facts concerning plaintiff's March 13th fee petition and its referenced Exhibit D. Defendant has obtained and reviewed a 22-page copy of plaintiff's March 13, 2026 petition for assessment of attorney's fees. In that fee petition, plaintiff counsel requests that his agreed hourly rate for the matter was $350, reduced from his customary $400 hourly litigation rate, and that he maintained a contemptuous accounting of all time and effort devoted to the matter. The fee petition states that professional services totaled $9,030 and litigation costs totaled $842.89. And at the stated $350 hourly rate, 90/30 represents approximately 25.8 hours of attorney time before consideration of the separately claimed costs. Now, let me also add in, for a lawyer to look at a 19-page order, that could be 4 hours in itself, like literally. The amount of time that he went back and forth with Rancher, the amount of time that he tried to get Rancher to answer him, the amount of paperwork that he had to deal with Rancher, go into the courts. Because remember, attorneys are going to charge you for going to the courthouse. It's not like where they only charge you once they're at the courthouse. No, they're charging you if they have to leave the office, drive to the courthouse. All that costs their money. Now, some lawyers will do it for free just because, but most won't. And emails between each other and all this shit adds up. Like it really does. 25 hours over the course of, what was that, like a year? That's not a lot. It really isn't. All right, we did that one. Plaintiff's fee petition expressly refers to a derailed accounting reflecting the time and effort, blah, blah, blah. 22 pages, another paragraph on it. No reason to talk about it again. And then, this is where he goes on an entire page about how there's no document on this, and there is. They did a full detailed accounting. It was submitted to the courts. I don't even know why they have a whole page, 2 pages on this, because, yeah, this was done. Request to stay collection and, to the extent permitted by law, accrual of additional post-judgment interest. The writ of execution seeks collection not only of the stated attorney's fees and cost components, but also post-judgment interest and additional continuing interest. Because defendant requests a stay of execution under PA 3121, while the court considers the execution-related objections and the evidentiary support for the amount being enforced, defendant respectfully requests that collection of the additional post-judgment interest likewise be stayed during the period of any stay entered by the court. Defendant further respectfully requests that the accrual of additional post-judgment interest upon the attorney fee and cost component be rolled, suspended, or otherwise held in abeyance during the stay period to the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, so that the amount being enforced does not continue increasing while the court considers the issue presented in this petition. Okay, let me just further say, they abso-fucking-lutely are going to allow interest. You cannot just say, okay, well, I don't want to pay interest. No. And what they can do, they can actually backtrack that interest if they allow it to get a stay. They can actually backtrack it and double it if you lose. So you may want to be careful about asking for that, just saying, because sometimes it could go against you. Defendant further respectfully requests I think I read that. In the alternative, if the court determines that applicable law does not permit suspension or tolling of the accrual of statutory post-judgment interest, Defendant requests that collection of such additional interest be stayed during the pendency of the court-ordered stay. Defendant also requests an accounting identifying the post-judgment interest rate being applied, the date from which interest is claimed to have begun accruing, the amount of interest accrued through the date of the accounting as per diem amount being used, and the mathematical basis for the interest included in the writ or any subsequent execution. Now, if I was her attorney, I'd be like, asshole, do you know how fucking simple it is? The date was August 18th, and then boom. Not only did you get busted, did this order come down on August 18th, but that's when the interest starts accruing. It's $1.70 a day or whatever it is. Get a calculator and figure out $1.70 a day until the day you start paying. You don't need a judge to tell you how to do this. Rule 311 recognizes specified protections for certain funds and accounts at banks or other financial institutions, including funds identified as exempt from execution under Pennsylvania or federal law, subject to the terms of that rule. Rule 3121 and 3142 recognize relief where property is exempt or immune from execution or attachment. Defendant requests that any property shown to be exempt or immune under applicable Pennsylvania or federal law be excluded from execution. Defendant does not claim a particular exemption in this petition unless supported by the nature and source of the property actually restrained. Now, that line didn't make sense to me, because you would think that if you're claiming that certain things are, all right, let me rephrase that. A court does not know the laws like you think they do. You need to tell them, like they're dummies, what you want excluded. Just saying that you just expect the courts to know what to exclude, no, it doesn't work like that. If you do not ask for something specifically, the courts do not know. I'll give you an example. When I was going through my custody fight, Brad's lawyer, for some dumbass reason, kept forgetting to, and we were in court for years, he kept forgetting to have Brad be able to claim Dayton on his taxes. And once it was all over, Brad realized it. And my lawyer said, Brad wants to know if he can claim him. I said, fuck no. He should have asked me in court. Makes me spend all this fucking $100,000. Fuck him. So all because the lawyer did not ask for the courts to do it, the courts didn't automatically do it. So that's what this reminded me of. Like, the courts aren't going to decide what you can have and what you can't have. You're a fucking idiot. Where are we? Okay. Request for remote appearance. Defendant resides in NC and lacks the financial resources necessary to travel to Pennsylvania. Poor Brittany. Don't worry. Diane will give you the money, Brett. You don't lack the financial resource, and we can prove that once you show your finances. Just saying. Defendant is the primary caregiver for her minor children, including a 4-month-old infant. Let's worry about your babies. Let's use them again. And her other children are beginning the school year. Although the children's father resides in the household, defendant has no other available caregiver assistance that would reasonably permit her to travel to Pennsylvania or for court proceedings. So you're telling me that the kid's own father can't watch him? Can't watch the boys or the baby? That's a real good dad there. Can't even leave your fucking child alone. Where's your father, Brittany? Where's, Craig's mom? How do you not have someone that can watch the baby? The fuck is wrong with you? You can even bring the damn baby. Bring a babysitter. Babies fly free. So Craig can't watch the boys, and You take the baby with you and bring a babysitter? The fuck is wrong with you? Who has kids with someone who can't watch the baby? Her own father can't watch the kid? Yeah, who watched the boys when your kids were away? Yeah, that's true. You could bring your daughter as a babysitter. I forgot about that. Defendant is the primary caregiver. Oh, wait. If the court schedules argument, testimony, a conference, or another bearing, defendant respectfully requests permission to participate remotely by Zoom or another court-approved video conferencing platform. Defendant will comply with any identification, technology, scheduling, or any other requirements imposed by the court. Really? Because she couldn't even write this on time. Just saying. Rule 208.2 requires, among other things, a proper caption, consecutively numbered paragraphs, material facts supporting the requested relief, a specification of the relief sought, a proposed order, a verification and certificate of service in an effort to comply with those requirements, and any applicable Delaware County local practice. Defendant respectfully requests leave to correct any non-prejudicial procedural or formatting defect identified by the prothedary, I don't know what that word is, or court, rather than denial or form alone, particularly because defendant is proceeding pro se. Roger Craig Black resides in the same North Carolina household as defendant and is the father of defendant's children. Defendant and Mr. Black are not married. Defendant states that she and Mr. Black maintain their assets separately. Mr. Black does not hold, conceal, transfer, safeguard, or maintain money or property for defendant, and he does not owe defendant a debt. Defendant requests that these facts be considered in determining whether any property or debt legally subject to attachment exists in Mr. Black's hands. Really, Brett? What a great guy he is. We are all so fucking jealous that not only do you guys have separate assets, not only can he not watch his own child, what a great fucking man he is. Oh, we should all have a man just like Craig. What a fucking loser. Hey, Gizmo. Defendant states that she and Mr. Black under PA 311, service of a writ upon a garnishee attaches legally attachable property of the defendant in the garnishee's possession and attachable property thereafter coming into the garnishee's possession while the attachment remains effective. PR 3111 addresses restraint of the debts payable to the defendant and delivery of attachable property of the defendant. All right, I need to take a break. We're on like page 7. All right. Rule 3144 permits interrogatories directed to a garnishee concerning property of the defendant in the garnishee's possession, including debts owed to the defendant. Defendant therefore requests that any determination concerning Mr. Black be based upon competent evidence of an actual debt or actual property belonging to defendant rather than cohabitation or parentage alone. Defendant requests leave, if appropriate, to submit a sworn declaration from Mr. Black confirming the ownership of his property, that he owes defendant no debt, and that he is not holding or concealing defendant's money or property. Defendant's residence and tangible household property are located in NC. The present Pennsylvania attachment execution papers reviewed by defendant identify garnishes. Defendant does not represent in this petition that plaintiff has presently obtained a North Carolina levy upon televisions, furniture, electronics, or any other household goods. If plaintiff later seeks execution against tangible personal property physically located in NC, defendant respectfully preserves all rights available under North Carolina law governing enforcement of judgments and exemptions. North Carolina's Uniform Enforcement of Foreign Judgments Act is a codified NC Gen Stat 33 IC 1701 through IC 1708. NC Gen Stat IC 170.3 addresses filing and status of a foreign subject in North Carolina. 1704 addresses notice of filing and addresses defenses, procedure, and stay. North Carolina execution statutes provide that money judgments may be enforced by execution as provided by NC law. Further addresses designation or waiver of exemptions before issuance of execution in North Carolina. North Carolina's exemption property provisions are codified through blah, blah, blah. The North Carolina Constitution also recognizes personal property and homestead exemptions from execution subject to statutory limits and exemptions and exceptions. Defendant does not ask this Pennsylvania court to adjudicate a hypothetical NC levy that has not occurred. These authorities are identified to clarify that tangible household property physically located in NC is governed by additional NC enforcement and exemption procedures if collection is later pursued there. Defendant further states, and she and Mr. Black are not married. North Carolina marriage is governed by Chapter 51 of the NC General Statutes, including Gen Stat 51.1, concerning the requisites and solemnization of marriage. Defendant relies primarily, however, on actual ownership of possession of property, not relationship labels, in asking that Mr. Black separately owned assets not treated as defendant's property. Hold the fuck up. Back up for a second. What did I just read? Defendant relies primarily, however, on actual ownership and possession of property, not relationship labels. What the fuck does that mean? In asking that Mr. Black separately owned assets not to be treated by the defendant's property. Defendant specifically requests that any attachment directed to Roger Craig Black be limited to property actually belonging or payable to defendant, and that Mr. Black's separately owned assets not be treated as defendant's merely because he resides with defendant or is the father of her children. So basically, they're saying that he's a roommate. That's what they're saying. They live together as roommates. That's exactly what that says. So that explains a lot. I guess they're, fucking roommates. Like literally, they're just, banging roommates with benefits. Defendant further requests that during the pendency of any stay entered by this court, which you're not getting a stay, plaintiff be stayed from taking additional execution measures against defendant's tangible personal property, including household goods, furniture, electronics, vehicles, and any other personal property without further order of court and compliance with all applicable execution, notice, exemption, jurisdictional, and due process requirements. Now, you know what I was just thinking of? Think about this for a second. Can you imagine being with a man who won't just pay this off? I could not even fathom the father of my children not coming up with this money if I lived with him. Even if he has 15 grand in the bank, he should give you 10 to pay this off. Who doesn't do that? What kind of father of a child does not do that? What a worthless piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just give her the money. Just pay it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What a loser. Defendant further requests that during the pendency of the stay, plaintiff stayed from taking additional. Oh, wait, I read that. I'm sorry. Defendant's tangible personal property is located in North Carolina. Defendant respectfully requests that nothing in the present Pennsylvania writ be consented as authorizing seizure, inventory, levy, or sale of tangible personal property physically located in NC without compliance from North Carolina. Under NC law, foreign judgment may be filed in North Carolina where the judgment debtor resides or owns property. This is all just wording bullshit. Defendant does not represent that plaintiff has presently attempted to levy upon televisions, furniture, Pyrex, electronics. No, Pyrex isn't in there. I threw that in there. The request is prospective and protective only, intended to preserve defendant's rights and prevent expansion of execution while the requested stay is being considered. Defendant specifically requests that any stay entered by the court, which you're not getting, extended to additional execution efforts against the defendant's tangible personal property during the stay period, and that no Pennsylvania something will be treated as independently authorizing seizure, inventory, levy, or sale of tangible property physically located in North Carolina without compliance with applicable North Carolina law. Protective relief concerning out-of-state registration. Defendant further requests that the extent authorized by law and state entered by this court expressly encompasses further enforcement activity based upon the judgment during the stay period, including efforts to register, domesticate, this is the same shit over again. Request is not for a permanent prohibition against lawful enforcement. Defendant request, blah, blah, blah. North Carolina, stay of enforcement. You're not getting a stay, so none of this fucking matters. All right, we're halfway done. Actually, we're more than halfway done. We're on page 9, but a lot of it's bullshit. We're actually almost done. Whew! I don't think I can read much more. Defendant specifically requests that any order granting a stay state to the extent legally authorized that further enforcement activity based upon the judgment is stayed during the stay period, including registration, domestication, or enforcement efforts in North Carolina or another jurisdiction subject to further order of the court. Defendant further requests access to the complete Exhibit D referenced in plaintiff's March 13, 2026 petition for assessment of attorney's fees and litigation costs, together with the billing time evidence actually relied upon to support the $9,030 attorney fee and $842 cost components, and such opportunity for review or challenge as the court determines remains procedurally available. Bitch, go look in the paperwork. It's there. Defendant further requests that any stay entered, which again, you're not getting a stay, by the court expressly state collection of additional post-judgment interest during the stay period, that accrual of such interest be toiled and or suspended to the fullest extent permitted by law, and alternatively, if accrual cannot legally be suspended, that collection of the additional interest be held in abeyance while the stay remains in effect. Defendant also requests a complete accounting of the rate, commencement rate, accrued amount, per diem amount, and calculation of post-judgment interest. Not only did you just cost yourself more money, but writing this 19-page order, that money's going to go up. Good job, Britt. Defendant respectfully requests that this honorable court immediately stay the August 18th, 2026 writ of execution and all related attachments garnishment, levy, and enforcement. Hold on, I got a question though. Oh. Yeah, doesn't hold on, I gotta look something up. Doesn't she have 20 days from the writ of execution to file this? Or is it 20 days from the original order? Because everyone's saying she's out of time, but it's not the 28th yet. So if she has 20 days from the original order, that's over. Oh, it is 20 days from the original? Because that just hit me. Because all right, so just so I want to understand this, and I'll look it up, but because the writ of execution isn't actually a order, that's all part of the original, so it would be from the original order. Because that makes sense if it is from the original order. Okay, I wasn't 100%. She had 20 days from the original order, not 20 days from this order. Gotcha. Okay. So immediately stay the August 18, 2026 writ of execution and all related attachment, garnishment, levy, and enforcement activity pending disposition of the petition. After appropriate consideration, set aside, quash, dissolve, yeah, you wish, or otherwise grant relief from the writ, service, levy, or affected execution to the extent authorized by PA or other applicable law. Determine any execution related jurisdictional issue that remains properly available, considering 42 PACS 5322 and constitutional due process requirements without requiring defendant to retry the merits of the original cease and desist controversy. Limit attachment, execution of property or debts legally attachable under PA 311 and related rules, and grant appropriate relief as to Roger, Black, Sherry, Gina, if competent evidence establishes that an individual holds no attachable property or of defendant and owes defendant no attachable debt. Confirm that the amount being executed upon accurately corresponds to the operative judgment and lawful interest cost, and to the extent procedurally reviewable, permit examination of the evidentiary support for the $9,030. Protect any property proven exempt or immune from execution under PA 311, 3121, 3142, and any other applicable Pennsylvania federal law. Permit defendant to participate remotely by Zoom or other court-approved video conference in any hearing, argument, conference, or proceeding on this petition, and grant such other and further relief as the court deems just, equitable, and legally appropriate. Respectfully signed, Brittany Nicole Jackson. Date 8/24/26. Verification. I, Brittany Nicole Jackson, verify that the actual statements in the foregoing petition are true and correct to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief. I understand that false statements made herein are subject to the penalties of 18 PACS 4904 relating to unsworn falsification to authorities. Date stamped 8/24/26, and there is Brittany's signature. Proposed order, not even filled out. Certification of service. I, Brittany Nicole Jackson, certify that on 8/24/26, I served a true and correct copy of the foregoing petition, verification, proposed order, and accompanying attachments upon counsel for plaintiff at Martucci's office, Service was done by certified mail on 8/24, which we don't have confirmation if that actually happened. Table of authorities, legal roadmap, something I never saw before. This draft is designed to make the execution-only request as complete and legally supported as possible without pretending that Rule 3121 petition automatically reopens a final judgment. A court may find that a personal jurisdiction objection was waived by failure to raise it earlier, or that the merits of a final attorney fee order cannot be reconsidered through execution proceedings. The draft therefore preserves these issues, asks for relief only to the extent procedurally available, and separately emphasizes grounds that directly concern execution, garnishment, attachable property, the amount being enforced, or a temporary stay. Supplemental North Carolina authorities, they give nothing. There's nothing attached. They say what they're going to do, but there's nothing attached. Supplemental proposed order language, nothing attached. Final page, supplemental exhibit clarification for clarity purposes in this petition. Talk about fees again from Martucci. Post-judgment interest during the period of the stay. Collection of additional post-judgment interest is stayed. Yeah, they're writing this like it's from a lawyer, and no. I mean, from the courts, no. And that's it. How'd I do? Did I try not to bore you guys to death. I try to keep it exciting. I think I did good with all those big words, though. Man, that was a lot of writing. And I did it pretty quick. Yeah. What I don't understand, though, does Brittany think the courts haven't seen this 1,000 times over, where people try to hide money with the partner? Like, do they not realize that people do this all the fucking time? So, Brittany, Granny can show plenty of proof that you and Craig are in this wonderful relationship. She can prove through your own voice what a great relationship you guys have, and that, you know, he pays for stuff and you pay for stuff, and like she can easily prove this. So I don't know why you're trying to take this route. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Where's right the baby voice? I'm behind, but yeah, I did read Harry Potter to my new. See? Thank you, Sly. He was a kid to read in class and got a certificate. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Let me tell you, I was taught how to be a mom from an amazing mom. Like, literally, from an absolute amazing mom. My mom was like the best. So I understand she may not know, but yeah. Yeah, PA courts have deemed her untruthful. I don't know why they why they even mention the RICO in here. Yeah, take my card, buy a computer. Like, yeah. Thank you, Gizmo. Not a good look, because Granny can screw you, and I hope she does. I hope Granny has all the proof. They do share money. That's what I'm saying. But can you think about this for a second? Imagine being with a man who won't help you. Like, I hate to keep using an example, but I have no choice. Brad was a fucking junkie. And I hate to use that word, but it's true. He worked hard, but he did drugs a lot. And he would still fucking pay for shit. Like, that's what he did. That's what men do. He could be high as a fucking kite. And if I needed 10 grand, I got 10 grand. Especially after Dayton was born. Like, I don't understand this mentality and this concept. Like, just he should give you the money. If he has it, he may bitch about it later, but give you the money. I couldn't even imagine not getting it. I mean, yeah, that's her grift. Craig is so worthless. It's crazy to me. He doesn't give two fucks about her. Like, I just can't. I was with an asshole. Dayton's dad was a fucking asshole. But I was still the mother of his child and his fiance. And if I needed something, he came through no matter what. And this was a fucking psychopathic drug addict, and he would come through. I couldn't even imagine not relying on the father of my child, who I live with, who I'm engaged to, who I'm not talking like, one that you're not with, but I'm talking one that you're physically with, that you just had a baby with. Yeah, exactly. He paid for an attorney for himself and not for her. What kind of man does this? Exactly. I had a man that would steal a car if I needed a ride. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking nuts. And like, she had to wait until she got paid from YouTube for his kids to go school shopping, but he could spend all this money on gaming. Like, what a fucking loser. Yeah, we're so jealous. I couldn't even imagine. Aren't you all jealous of that? Being with a man that you need what's it called? You get a public defender, but he gets a real attorney? What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, and and I asked Granny that, and she was gonna ask her attorney, I think. But I was wondering, if she makes a payment, even if it's $20, does that mean interest stops? Because that's something like, make $100 payment if that's what's going to cause the interest to stop, or make a payment plan of $100 a month. I mean, she can most certainly afford $100 a month. If she mailed it to Martucci, it's not forged. Well, she sent certified mail, but Granny said that somewhere in here, or maybe Martucci said it, or Martucci told her, but she said somewhere in here it shows that, because I did skip over a little of it, not much, but the repetitive stuff, that it does show that she signed this or something, and that she physically turned it in to the courts, which she couldn't have done. Oh, BJ filed it. Something like that. Interest accrue. Oh, it does accrue unless it's paid off? See, I didn't know that. No, Granny hasn't addressed it yet. She hasn't even read it. But when I called her this morning and I said, I don't want to discuss it. People were asking me about it. And then we went through it. She's like, yeah, you could talk about it. She's like, I haven't read it yet, but let me give you some highlights. It says she paid cash. Oh, is that what it is? Okay, so she paid cash for the filing. You can't pay cash over the phone. It would have to be in person that you pay cash. So that's the catch to it. She paid $50 cash on the same date it was signed and filed in PA. I knew there was something to it. Yeah, because Christine, I told her, I said, you know what happened yesterday? I said, I don't know if you're aware. I said, people were asking me about it last night, and I'm not going to, I mean, it's your court case. I'm not going to discuss it without speaking to you and getting the approval. Because I wouldn't want to do that. Because I would think we thought Granny was going to go live today and discuss it. So that's why I wanted to talk to her first. I mean, I wouldn't want someone doing that to me. I mean, I really wouldn't. That would be fucked up. Especially if I'm in the middle of it, it's my court case. Nobody has a right to discuss it before she does. Like I said last night, if she had discussed it and then other people were discussing it, that's totally different. But nobody had discussed it yet. I didn't even know about it. Well, I knew about it yesterday morning, but someone sent me the paperwork, said don't discuss it publicly yet. Nobody knows. I was like, oh shit. So I didn't. I kept a secret. But because people were asking me last night, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to, I got to ask her first. Yeah, she's told me this morning she hadn't even read it yet. It was loud where she was, Christine. I said, let me guess, you're at Wawa. She's like, yes, I was. I am. I said, I knew it. As soon as we get a Wawa here, I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to call her first. I'm like, guess where I am, bitch? We don't have one here. I've never been to one. I've been to one like on the road, but I've never been to one. Like we don't have any here. I know I've seen I've been to one stopping at a gas station on the road. But for all the years I've known Granny, she loves her Wawa. She's telling me, you have to go to Wawa. You have to go to Wawa. Oh, you just got one there? I think we're getting one soon. I've been to Sheets. Sheets, where was I with Sheets? When I took Dayton to that the weekend away for the grief weekend, on the way home there was a Sheets there. I remember I could have sworn they said we were getting one. In all right. Opinions on the Reddit Huntsville or maybe we're not getting one. I thought we were getting one, but not according to Google. The closest Wawa to me is 100 miles away. Yeah, there's a bunch in Tennessee, Kentucky, down by the Gulf Coast, but none by me. This is the current map of Wawa. Yeah, I'm like right here. Huntsville. So close one is 100 miles away. That's probably where I got one, was on the way to Florida. I thought Georgia had them, but I guess not. Well, yeah, I'm driving down to Florida. Dang. No Wawa for me. But then I could have sworn we were getting them. But maybe not. Yeah, just on the coast. Alabama opens a new Wawa store. Doesn't say where. Oh, well, no Wawa for me. It's kind of like a Walmart. You know they're everywhere. No, we're not. We got Buc-ee's. If you would like, I can check any recent corporate expansion. Yes, please check. Is Huntsville getting a Wawa? No, Huntsville's not getting a Wawa. The Pennsylvania-based convenience store chain has not announced any official plans. Southwest only. Southwest Alabama only. Oh, well, I guess we're not getting a Wawa. I've had Buc-ee's. Yeah, Buc-ee's is far, though. I mean, it's expensive, though. Not far. It's expensive, though. Like $30 for a pound of beef jerky. It sucks. Oh, Granny's lawyer is gonna fight that to a max. There's no oh, that's what I was gonna look up. I don't understand why she paid $50 though. That's the other part I don't really understand. What made her pay $50? Like, usually when you answer something, you don't have to pay. Oh, Wawa's not cheap anymore? Close one Tennessee where I'm at is in Bowling Green. Oh, that's Kentucky. She filed a stay of execution. Yeah, but I'm saying when you answer something, you shouldn't have a filing fee. You only really have a filing fee if you're starting something new. When you answer something, you don't have a filing fee. So hold on a second. Okay, that's what I thought. When in Pennsylvania, filing a written answer or response to a civil complaint in the Court of Common Pleas generally carries no filing fee. So what I think happened, I think this only proves that this was out of the timing. No, when you answer, there's never a fee. There's usually only a fee when you are the initial filer. That's when there's a fee. There's never a fee when you respond. But exactly, Jacqueline, that's what I'm saying. But I'm pretty sure they filed this as a new filing because she was out of time. And that proves that she was out of time. You know what I mean? Petition for, okay, here we go. Hold on. Now, to be fair, my big court case was in Iowa. So obviously the rules are going to be a little different. But I remember my attorney, when I was working on my own, my attorney said, make sure you put everything under the same docket number so you don't have any filing fees, no matter what you file, as long as it's under that same docket number. So that's how Iowa/Illinois worked. So obviously, everywhere's different. So a petition for review or petition for review pro tunc appellate jurisdiction other than finance and revenue, $50 filing fee. Oh, $91.25 total. 50 filing plus $41.25 surcharges. Petition for review or petition for review pro tunc. Same thing. Petition for permission to appeal, filing fee. Petition for, oh, here it is. Petition for stay pending filing or petition for permission to appeal, $91.25 total. There it is right there. Petition for stay pending. Petition for review, original jurisdiction, 30 filing. That's cheap. Complaint, same thing. Petition for writ, same thing. Entry of appearance, notice of intervention, applications for relief or motions, stipulation, status support, preliminary objections, motion for summary judgment, discontinuance of action. Wow, Pennsylvania gets you. Motion public opinion, notice to appeal. Yeah, motion to stay. It's $91.25. What an idiot. So she didn't pay just 50. She paid the $91.25. Uh Oh, shit. Well, this just proves it right here. This just totally proves it. Check this out. Thank you, Mystic. Damn, they were right. See, Jess is so smart. Nick wrote this. How do I know? I'm going to show you how. Let's see if this works. Look at that. Party name, At Night Media. Did you guys know Brittany was part of At Night Media? I didn't know that. Yeah. And I got news for you. I was a little hesitant when Jess said it. I was like, yeah, you really think Nick did that? Well, here you go. This fucking dumbass wrote At Night Media. Thanks, Nick. This is, oh, I'm sorry. All right. This is a RICO filing. Every time anyone responded, they paid fees. Okay, so the person that just sent that to me, I was confused too. The person that just sent that to me, can you see who was the party name in the one that just in this order that was just filed? Can you see if that was also At Night Media? Yeah, I know. I realized that. That's a RICO. Can you look and see the name of who just filed this one, if it was Brittany or not? I still think Nick did it. I think Nick wrote it. I do. If you compare this one to the one he filed, it's almost identical. Oh, Brit's receipt has no party name. I gotcha. Well, technically, BJ is part of At Night when it comes to the RICO. Technically speaking. It just says BJ paid 50, no party name. All right, so I got that confused for a minute. Oh, Nick and War Eagle for sure. Yeah, we have Sonic. No, it's okay. I still think Nick wrote that, though. I really do. That is one of the worst written orders I've ever seen. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not that it's so horrible, but it's so jumbled. And are you trying to confuse a court or something? Like the lawyer fees that's already in there doesn't need to be said 1,000 times over. Like you just highlight it. Oh, ChatGPT definitely wrote it. But yeah, I want to know how she paid cash on the spot. That's what I want to know. Party name, amount assessed 50, amount adjusted nothing. Yeah, I don't know what that 300 is. 297.25. Oh, I hope so, straight. I really do. That's what I'm saying. I think Nick filed this. Someone filed it, walked into court and filed it. There's no other way around it. Like, whoever did this filed it in person with cash. So, Brittany, did you really go all the way to Pennsylvania to file this? LG, nobody really knows where she is because she lies so much. I personally think she's in West Virginia. Because her profile picture is someone in West Virginia. I think it's electronically yeah, but even the, and I could live with that craft, except the fact that the signatures don't match up at all. The signatures are completely different. And we've seen Brittany's signature. Craig has attached her to his debit card publicly. He has said it's their channel, meaning he's half. Oh, no shit. I didn't know that. I wouldn't be. I agree, Tara. Me neither. Nick's employment's listed as Joseph Lesniak's office. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I agree with that, Christine. Um, all right, now, do you guys want to hear what made me almost go live at 4 o'clock in the morning? And the only reason why I want to play it, I want to lay out some groundwork about it. I don't want anybody being bamboozled by a liar, by a narcissist, by an abuser. It doesn't matter the who, what, when, where, why, or how. A leopard never changes its spots. And I see people being lied to. I see people being manipulated. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. And I'm not trying to nail something into a coffin. I'm not trying to change anyone's views. What I'm trying to do is show facts. His patterns are clear and evident. His mental state is clear and evident. And you can go back to his TikToks from a couple of years ago and see the exact same patterns. I see people making comments all over about certain people forgiving him or believing his shit or whatever. And at first I understood why they felt a certain way or why they lost respect for this one or that one. But again, we don't know everything. So maybe there's reasons for it. Maybe they're protecting their own. I don't know. But I will stand 10 toes in that he's an abusing, lying piece of shit narcissist who finds very weak women and according to his TikTok, very weak men too, and wants to be idolized, and it's sick. And I honestly don't even think this man deserves attention, but when I saw what I saw last night, I had to. I just had to. I was like, "Holy fuck, I'm not seeing this. I am just not seeing this. This can't be real." But it is. It's very real. And the excuses and the lies, if you look up malignant narcissist in a book, you will see his fucking picture loud and clear, sitting right there. I don't know if he's a malignant narcissist. That's going too far, but he's definitely a narcissist who wants to be idolized and thinks that he should be idolized. And oh my God, I was dying when I saw his TikTok last night. Oh, it's way more than 2 years. There's a TikTok of him. I showed it to someone else. Or I could tell you guys, Audacity. And I was she's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen them." He's sitting in, and there's like women that are like madly in love with him. And he's like, "I'm sitting in the dirt and I'm sitting in the outside. And look around, everyone. You should be happy today. And everyone should be happy today and be thankful." I mean, it was so fucking cringe. Like everything this man does is fucking cringe, but this took the cake. And these women are like, "Ah, yeah, you're so right. I just love him." Oh my God, it's so bad. It's so cringe. All right, let me pull up. Hold on. Ah. All right. Oh. Now, let me just say a lot of people didn't see this because they didn't know it even existed. I didn't either. I had no idea this live existed until Audacity told me. So I don't think a lot of people even saw this.
It's good for nothing more than mulling around theories that, quite frankly, do nothing but honestly get one to all three of the parents.
You over here on Kick, so I don't have an echo. But I'm Seth Rogers. I'm Sebastian's dad, and I don't know what you've heard about me, but the only thing I care about is finding my son. And if you have any information that could lead me towards finding my son, I would appreciate it. And if you don't want to give it to me, then I would definitely appreciate you giving it to the FBI. Or at least if you have any information, the National Missing Center.
We're going to do one at a time. We got Cletus up. I'm going to let Cletus up first, and then there's UA Crimson Tide. I'll let you up in a second. What's up, Cletus?
Hey, man, I was just going to tell you, I typed it in the back chat, though, to mod. I gave you the instructions on how to mod.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm having a tough time over there on the mod.
Yeah, if you just go in that chat and type that in, as long as I got her handle right.
Now, put a 1 in the chat if you watched this last night, if you even know it existed. Put a 2 if you never saw it.
It should mod her.
Okay. Yeah, it's not letting me do it on the phone. That's why I'm
oh, yeah, you'll probably have to pull it up on the desktop in another tab.
Yeah, I don't have anything logged in on this desktop. I'm trying to keep it separated. Damn. Trying to figure it out. We'll come back to it. It's not nothing's crazy going on over there, right?
No, there and Kick's not really like YouTube, right? Like your chat's not going to get you in trouble. And there's a a default AI mod in there that blocks like hate speech and stuff like that. About the only thing you got to worry about is
All right, so we're about half and half, which is good.
people doxing or whatever. That's the only thing we've ever seen a need for a mod for, really, and spam. So
Okay. Yeah. I'll keep an eye on it.
Do it on the phone. You can't do it on the phone.
yeah,
You can't do it on the phone?
yeah, that's what Queen just said in the chat.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. We'll fix it after the live. I have a lot to do. I'm learning, guys.
Now, to add to what Lacey just said, I don't believe he has autism. I don't believe he had a heart attack. And I don't know about the trauma, but I think he's completely full of shit all around.
Be patient with me.
But yeah, that's all. I was just going to let you know how to do that, man, if you could. So
Hell yeah. Trying to think if I had questions for you, but you answered them earlier for me, Cletus.
yeah, I mean, there's I don't know. I mean, my personal take on Sebastian's case is there's about the only thing that is new is stuff that can't be vetted or quite frankly shouldn't have ever been stated publicly. And even if it is, it's good for nothing more than mulling around theories that, quite frankly, do nothing but honestly get one to all three of the parents attacked. And until we know what happened, that's just, there's been enough of that over 2.5 years.
And I agree with Cletus 100% on that. What I don't understand is why Cletus and Clue are babysitting him. That's what I don't understand. But I'm not judging. I just don't know why they have to babysit a grown man.
All three of them, and I'm taking ownership for my part in that too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Because look, that's why I always tell people you don't want to be wrong when everything settles and everything is solved and stuff comes out. You don't want to be wrong when it comes to true crime. Like you'll look crazy. Like let's say if we were blaming Seth, even Seth right here, blaming him for just saying that he did it. For like, there's people that have done that too, and they've done it with the Proudfoot too. They've done it both sides, bro. That has to be the worst feeling ever, bro.
Well, and I think a lot of a lot of the flack for all three has come from feelings of what a parent should or shouldn't do and things that they have and have said or have not said, right? And everybody's got an opinion about that, and I get it. I do. I mean, in looking back on things, I've learned a lot from that case in and of itself, right? It's just it's an unfortunate thing.
Let me ask you something. You've been out on the front line.
Oh, that's not true, Jacqueline. They've made up.
And after you heard this information here, would you still be motivated to go out there, or do you feel like it'd be not? I don't want to be disrespectful to say a waste of time, but do you feel like what is your gut telling you? I don't know how to word this question.
My gut's telling me that there's a missing child, and I've got theories that go from everything from from he walked out of that house and we can't explain how he wasn't seen on camera to the worst possible theory, right? My gut tells me the only logical thing anybody can do is if somebody's got an idea of where to search, let's go do it.
Is there
And hand out flyers, right? I mean, that's what all three parents have asked for, and that's all I can say. I mean, if in terms of searching, if somebody said, "Hey, man, we want to go search here," I'd be there. I've always been like that.
I got another question for you. Being on the front line, was there anything that you found out there that was like some kind of piece of evidence, some kind of trail? What happened, bro?
Honestly, the biggest indication in my mind is the lack thereof. Right? There's literally that I can think of. There's been nothing. There's been a lot of stuff that a lot of people have chased. They SF Investigates was out here. He's been out here numerous times. We've went and helped him. We've searched with him. We've evaluated a whole lot of stuff, and it's all come back to nothing but just theory, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think it's safe to say that as far as anybody knows, there's nothing. It's just like the kid vanished, and people are going to take from that what they will.
Well, I brought it up the truth, because it was it was something that got brought up when we were covering Sebastian, is the possibility of being abducted.
For me, I can't say that it's not possible. I just know where my head's at with what I've seen out there firsthand. And I've always said that I think there's a very narrow possibility of he walked out and wasn't caught on camera. But I can even debunk my own theory, but I can't go solid either way. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I can't stand on anything with.
It's the same thing with Summer Wells, though. You don't know what happened. She just disappeared into thin air. The exact same scenario.
Other than theory, except for the fact that he's missing. And that's why I say, in terms of my gut is if somebody's got an idea, I say act on it.
Interesting, man. Yeah, this is yeah, I'm about to get what I'm about to play this and see what Truth says and go from there, man. I feel like this needs to be covered by the main true crime channels, though.
Well, see, it was back when it first happened. I mean, a lot. There was a lot of attention on it first, and
Now, I don't know if he did or he didn't. What I can say is everyone else at Search, there's pictures of. There's pictures of Clue and Cletus. There's pictures of UA. There's many pictures of people searching. There's not one picture shown where he is searching. Not with Cletus, not with Clue, not with anybody. So whether he did or he didn't, I can only say by going on that. Lacey lives there too. She said she didn't, that he didn't.
Quite honestly, my personal feeling, I think a lot of people feel the same way, but there's a lot of people that feel the opposite way. I feel like when C&Ds went out in, what was it, the end of May, 1st of June of 24. I mean, you're talking just a couple of months after he goes missing, and these C&Ds go out to YouTube creators. I feel like it spooked a lot of people off. And then, 4 or 5 months later, there's a lawsuit that's accusing, a RICO organization of, 2 YouTube creators and 50 does, and the drama's in full swing. And I think a lot of people just stepped away from it.
Oh yeah, I remember White Boy Lockdown Radio talking about this RICO a couple years ago or a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a mess. It's been a mess, and it literally went from a lot of people talking about the case to everybody talking about the drama around the case.
There's a possibility Bullhead Betty could be a confidential informant working for the FBI.
You think so?
Allegedly. Well, I think.
What? I didn't catch that last night. No, Bullhorn Betty is not an informant for the FBI. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Listen, because she ain't making money on YouTube. What is she doing? I don't know what she's doing.
In all fairness, Betty has said Clue's a confidential informant for the FBI.
Yeah.
So,
really? Well, I think she's projecting, because that's a possibility, man. She looks like somebody that would be.
Yeah, I don't know. If she is, then God help them is all I can say. Betty wild.
Maybe that's why they arrested her that day, to take her in and teach her how to actually be Ellie.
Yeah, maybe.
I wanted to get my plug on here because me and Betty had the same plug we used to get cocaine from in Bradenton. I wanted to get him up here, but he's still in the streets, so I can't. But he said one day he will, and he's gonna spill all the tea about Betty and her addictions.
Was he the one that stole her pants when she was running down the road?
How in the fuck would they find Bullhorn Betty's old cocaine dealer? Like, come on, really? Yeah, I'm not buying that one.
Road.
Okay, this is a black guy. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just. I know. I allegedly she was on the road running down the street with no pants on or something.
Well, he definitely got sloppy toppy from her for cocaine for sure. Allegedly.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he was the one that left her dirty too, because I did see that somewhere. Right. In the police report, they marked her as dirty, and I'm like, how you get arrested and marked dirty?
Well, we got the body cam of her being arrested at Sebastian's.
Oh yeah, it's Seth's visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he lives near BHB. Okay, well that makes more sense. I thought like he was in somewhere. Yeah, he's in Florida. Oh yeah, because when he was covering Wade Wilson, I think he said that he lives right near Betty. All right, so maybe he does know him.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen that. We need all her body cams. But she got arrested in the 90s or something. There's one, there's gonna be no body cams on some of that shit, but hey, and I gotta say one thing, Betty never ratted out the plugs. She never ratted out the plugs in Bradenton, man. She wanted to make sure she had that in her back pocket so she can get what she needs to get.
That is true.
And she won't rat out JLR. Don't y'all think that's kind of crazy?
Well, she still got.
Bro, I used to expose him, bro. Listen, man. Captain Napkin knows. Captain Napkin, she knows. But he
looks like a onesie. Like I ain't never
hard on these fucking dude. We got to the point where we found where Jesse worked at. So we got to the point where these bitches were getting so much money for Wade Wilson. We had to go hard. We had to figure out, who the fuck these bitches are. So all these Jesse dude, bro, Pino said meet him in the gym. And then you went on and said, he's gonna come and kill me. He didn't even say that.
Who said that?
Lemon did.
Okay, let me just state on a personal note, and I've always said this, I don't think because someone likes a criminal that they deserve to be doxxed or their information put out there. That's their own personal fucking info. They don't deserve to be outed, especially from a bunch of criminals that were criminals. Didn't you like people talking to you? So that's when I stopped watching them, because I don't agree with that at all. If someone wants to fuck with a criminal, that's on them. It's not your business.
He has threatened to wanting to fight B-Tim. He's wanted to fight me. He's wanted to fight White Boy. And every one of us have pretty much said, okay.
We'll do it for charity.
And then he backs out.
Yeah.
He's just, he's just another clown. But he'll he'll talk shit about whooping a woman all day.
Yeah, and White Boy he'll fight too. He'll fight. He'll pull up. He's pulled up on a couple people. I don't
Truth just sent you a rage quit and said he's live, but one of the subs said you wanted to ask something.
Oh, yes. No, okay, so basically my message to the truth is because he asked to have a conversation behind the scenes with me and Pino, and I just don't like doing I've had too many conversations recorded. I don't want to do behind the scenes stuff. So whatever we can wait till we have a full panel on the streets. We don't have to do it tonight, Truth, but just kind of break down what we got wrong on this. And you can do it in a way where you don't have to give full details of your life, just something to clear up. They actually, Corrupt says he wants me to interview you. I don't know if you want to do that. Oh yeah, another thing too. The crazy White Boy shit keeps popping up. Hey, that. There's nothing wrong with that. I know we know some crazy white boys on YouTube. We know the DEIs as well. You know, I know Tennessee's got a lot of them crazy white boys. There's some in Florida. There's crazy white boys in Florida.
He said,
But,
drop
you know,
him the link. Truth, it's on YouTube. You got to get it from the YouTube side.
yeah, it's pinned in the chat. Pinned in the chat. Yeah, no, we just don't know. We just didn't understand what he said. He said that he had 7 felonies. And I know that he said that he told Pino that he's going to see. I think he got me and Pino confused. So Pino wasn't telling me that he was talking the truth behind the scenes. So I didn't know a lot what was getting said, I guess. And then Pino finally told me yesterday or today. He's like, yeah, he kind of gave me his whole back.
Okay, let me also state, truth is about to come up. Be prepared for lots of excuses and lots of lies and lots of bullshit.
Background kind of thing. So I don't know, but I guess he wants to keep it behind the scenes, whatever. But at the same time, we want to know, man. We want to know your life story, bro. Do it on your own channel. That way you can monetize it, and we'll just react to it.
Now, translation of that is, we think you're full of shit. We don't believe you, so prove it. That's translation.
There you go, bro. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Just letting you know that I do have my live still going, because obviously I'm in the middle of it. And I don't want to be rude or nothing and not let you know.
You're all right.
So maybe you can help me understand, what exactly is the interest in my story?
I don't think we even cared until you brought it up on the panel, and then it kind of like left us in a gray area. We're like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think
here's
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
My
you're
bad.
good. You're good. Go ahead.
So my thing is this, man. You know, these people have been tracking the shit out of me for 2 years. These people have my criminal record, the same criminal record that I forwarded to. I'm not sure exactly who I was speaking with. It's the contact number I have, right? I just have it in my phone as YouTube Streets, right? So I sent exactly what it was, broke down. I sent my case file, everything you need to look it up. You know what I mean? If that's what y'all feel you need to do. Just at the place I am in my life, I don't make that part of my life something I just sit out here and talk about. It isn't something that goes along with.
Says the man who talks about everything. He thinks it's a flex. Like this, it just starts with bullshit.
Who I am today, and I'm not proud of it. I've talked about it before. You know what I mean? I've spoke on it, but to come over and like to somehow glorify the stupid ass shit, like, bro, I did 35 miles an hour running from the police and stopped at the stop sign because I was twacked out of my mind. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, I've told the story before, but if someone wants to check my paperwork within you guys, I provided it in the text message. I'd rather it not be put public.
There's two things I care about with paperwork. I don't really care about any kind of cooperating or anything like that. But the two things.
Well, you're not going to find that either. But
yeah, okay, that's fine. The women and children. I just want to make
check
sure
it.
that check it, and then you know, any bad charges like that. But
check it.
You know, Pino said that he got your name. So again, I didn't get it all from him. So we'll, you know, I'm sure that he already looked it up. He would have said something. So
yeah, bro, like I'm talking about, I sent the entire file, case number, everything you need to look it up with the history. I think I might have put the attorney in there too. It's not that I got anything to hide. It's just that's not what I put out about my life now. That's not how I'm in recovery, about to do celebrate 7 years on September 11th.
You smoke pot. How was that recovery?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I put out. It's part of my story, but it's not something that I just want to sit out here and talk to a bunch of people about. I'm not proud of the fact that I lived a professional life while at the same time being a hustler and a dumb, stupid idiot at the time. That's not what I want people that know me today or meet me today to focus on. So that's why I said I'd rather talk about it behind the scenes, not because I have anything to hide, but I am married now. And, you know, I was married when I caught my case. She's a professional. She doesn't need this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not something that's beneficial to my family. So I just didn't want to talk about it on your show. Is really what it came down to.
Well, I gotta say, you do the opposite of what a lot of guys on here do. So they'll come out and do their story, right, and then they'll not glorify it, but now they're known for that. So you're kind of doing the opposite of where you don't want people to just know you for the street shit. You just want them to know you for your true crime shit. That's how Jumpsuit tries to make it too. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not even true crime, man. I came into this whole thing because of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Okay, let me clarify. I have been clear of cocaine since 2008. Was the last time I ever did cocaine. That's what I'm sober from. And I stayed it like that. Because, yeah, I'll have a drink once in a while. I don't do anything else, but I'll have a drink once in a while. And so I'm not technically sober. So I can't say that I'm sober since 2008 because I'm not. I'm sober from cocaine since 2008. I'm sober from hard drugs since 2008, but that's it. Like, just be real about it. That's all I'm saying. I've never heard Stone Gator say, I am totally sober for 5 years. No, she'll say, I am sober from methamphetamine.
Right? That's the whole thing, because I grew up in Middle Tennessee. I grew up on the west side of Nashville. It is what it is. And so me being autistic, it was something that struck my attention because things didn't make sense. So I started following Clue and calling into Clue's show. And eventually her audience and Cletus convinced me to start a little channel. I never knew it was going to get to what it was, right? That's the truth of how I started in this anyway. I'm not true crime. I'd much rather talk to you about, men's mental health, calling out the bullshit. But somewhere along the line, it is my fault. I take full responsibility. But the way that I say things comes off really fucked up to people because I have no filter. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, y'all feel free, check those charges. And when you do, please make sure you come out and let everybody know I ain't got not a bit, not one, not a damn ounce of any of them charges. Please.
Yeah, no, we're not putting nothing on you, man. But people have tried to put shit on you before, though, right? That was like another thing too, that why we wanted to look just to make sure. And I think you could understand that, like, because fucking dude, we've had people up here lie about shit, and then all of a sudden now we're in a weird spot.
Oh, I agree with you, Life Unscripted. I don't think he has autism. I think it's an excuse. And a bad one, because he shows, in my opinion, he shows absolutely no signs of autism. An adult with autism. None.
Where we're like, oh, fuck. We either got to expose these people or we got to... You hear me?
Truth, can you hear?
I can't. No, sorry. That's what I was saying. I can't hear anybody. You only drop down and come back up, then I should be able to hear.
Yeah, it'd probably be the best thing because I can hear Plug, but you can't hear.
Yeah, I can't. I'll go come back up.
All right, he's got to give me a second because I gotta charge this up. And another thing too, DBS on the podcast, he has more the prison. He's children. That's the cooperating shit. Unless you're out here saying, "Yo, you're a fucking rat," calling people rats, and then we find out that you're a fucking rat. Yeah, that warrants it. But I really don't give a fuck about that either. So I'm glad.
I could tell you right now, this man is a fucking rat. He would sing like a bird. Guaranteed. He just showed that. I wouldn't trust him with my fucking dog secrets. Like, he just proved that. So anyone that trusts him, I feel very sorry for you.
Glad he cleared that up. He basically just wants his shit off of here because he's not trying to portray, you know,
And that's
street dude.
bullshit.
All right, 1 second, man. Let me go charge this real quick. I'm gonna play this real quick. Let this play for a second. I'll be right back.
The 1-800 number, any of those, if you want to be anonymous.
As a matter of fact, I do not know of any adult autistic person that's angry like that. I don't know. And I know a few who have been diagnosed with adult autism, and not one of them have anger issues. Not one of them speak to women like he does. Actually, quite the opposite. So, yeah. Just keep that in mind.
I don't have to be anonymous, Seth. I'm not the bad guy. Listen, I know. Let me, and I'm not coming at you. Sometimes my voice. First of all, I don't know if you know about me. I'm sure you've watched me. Okay, but let me just say this.
Not really.
I'm autistic. Hold on. I'm autistic as fuck. So I don't process things the same. I don't look at things the same. So my brain works different. Okay. Here's the deal.
And that is such bullshit, because someone that's truly autistic is not running around saying that. They're just not. So I'm calling bullshit.
Everything I know has been passed on to an agency and not Sumner County.
Thank you, because I don't pass anything on to them either. I pass.
I can also tell you that I went and had a meeting. Okay. And I'll say that and I won't say anything else. I will be a liar all day. All your people over there have drugged the fuck out of me, and I'm fine with that. I'm not mad at you for that. But what I'm going to tell you is, if you want to find your son, start listening to the truth and not the people playing you like a board game. The same way I was played like a board game by Chris and Katie.
And the only people I listen to is my PI, my FBI contacts, and any information I get in.
But it hasn't been that way, Bubba. That's why you're in the position you are with the community, because the people you were.
Oh, guys, the cringe land hasn't even started yet. Just wait.
Around made you look a certain way.
I understand that.
You know, and so now I've never met you personally, but apparently people say you give off this vibe or that vibe. Well, they say the same thing about me, dog. I'm not saying you did anything. What I've said is that there's some real suspicious shit from the beginning story when Sebastian went missing. Chris and Katie presented him as a damn near level 2 autistic that couldn't do shit.
Yeah,
you represented him as someone who was independent, could stay at home for 12, 13 hours at a time and be perfect.
Correct, April. That was the day we were all on. I was on that panel. That was the day we were all on this panel. But this isn't even the cringe part. This is the prelude to the cringe part.
Fine. Now, as someone in the community, how do we process those two different Sebastians?
Different structure, I guess. I don't
That's not even structure, Seth. That's two different people. Not even being able to fucking get in the back, whatever, to you, and being able to be there 13 hours by himself, bro.
Wait, that's what he said, that he got on a plane to Nashville? He lives like within an hour. You wouldn't even need to get on a plane. He's such a fucking liar.
I'm autistic.
Hold up. If he lives near UA is in Nashville. So he would be in Nashville if she lives like 10 minutes from him. So he would not need to be on a plane.
That is a massive difference. So for the community looking at it going, how can the kid be, no disrespect when I say this, so slow, which I hate when that's said, right? And then you're representing.
He lives in Tennessee. He doesn't live in California. He lives in Tennessee.
Him as basically a level 1 mild with a chromosomal deletion, which is exactly a replica in action of autism.
It is. Plus, he was diagnosed with autism on top of it.
Well, he wasn't until 3 months before he passed away, or before he went missing. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. My apologies.
All right, my bad. It took longer than I expected. All right, let me pull Truth back up. You Crimson Tide. I'll have you up in a little bit. Just sit back there. We'll get you up in a minute. We're trying to do one at a time. I know you probably have beef with everybody up here. Go. All right, yeah, go ahead, Truth. I got some other questions. Go ahead.
I just couldn't hear you. My bad. For some reason, the sound dropped and it was just silent on my end.
Let me ask you this, though. With this whole, okay, so.
Okay, before we get into the cringe part, let's back up for a second, okay? If he didn't live 15 minutes from UA, then why would he freak out that UA said she was going to go by his house? Think about that for a second. If he didn't live there, then whose house could she possibly go by? And why would he freak out if he didn't live there? It makes absolutely zero sense. Zero.
So, man, so this Sebastian Rogers thing, right? Do you regret anything you said recently?
That's a double-edged sword. Do I regret how I?
UA comes on. She's talking about this panel after he's done.
I said it, the manner in which I said it, absolutely. Do I regret getting it off my soul based on the reason why I felt that it was said and then made me, or what was told to me that I couldn't say it for XYZ reason? It got to a point where you start looking at all the times that something was said of, you can't talk about this because it's being worked on, or this or that. And nothing ever came out of it. Nothing ever came from law enforcement. And when I finally had, the time when I was in the hospital and I was laying there thinking about everything, shit just started to not feel right anymore. And unfortunately, I could sit here and make excuses all day long. It doesn't matter. I was put on a medication called Kepprin, and I was taking 1,500 milligram injections into my stomach. And then anyway, look into Kepprin, you'll know.
15 milligram injections in his stomach. Can you prove that?
It doesn't make an excuse, but I was way out of character and way overboard because I didn't know how to express what I was trying to say. So yes, I do feel that I could have done it in a much more respectful way to Sebastian, and that I am 100% responsible for. However, when people say that the information wouldn't help at all, my response is, well, maybe, but maybe not. But what I do know is that I don't have to hold that on my soul anymore. And I'm sorry. I mean, if it bothers people, what bothers me is that I heard it from the mouth that I heard it from, which is exactly the last person who was seen with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And I stand on, I'm telling the truth. Was the delivery wrong? Yes, absolutely it was. And I apologize for that, truly. But, at the end of the day, I didn't lie, and I stand on that hill no matter what anybody thinks about me.
Did Seth get anything out of that, you think? And did you talk to him off after you guys did the little interview? Did you talk to him?
No, I didn't even know Seth was coming on my panel, bro. Like, that, people can say what they want to. Seth, there was someone in the chat that's.
Hey, mods over at Kick, can you find out what's being deleted? They're saying like simple things are being deleted.
Sent Seth the link. They come out and spoke on it. I had my panel open for anybody who wanted to come over and talk to me about what was going on between me and Clue, if you really want to be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that what was going on over at fucking Granny's with the father or the stepfather and the mother, right? We're talking about that. All of a sudden, he pops up in my back chat. Are you on YouTube right now too? I just want to make sure before.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. So he pops up in my back chat. I'm like, what the fuck? So of course I bring it up because he's never talked to anybody on the dark side that I know of, the quote dark side. And I've said forever, if I had an opportunity to talk to him, I was going to hit him with every hard question that everybody asked. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. And people think, oh, your attitude sucked. Yeah, it probably did. But I'm also tired of everybody tiptoeing and fucking, playing tap dance around questions. Ask the fucking questions and stop pussyfooting around. And that's what I did. Some people don't like it. They don't like my approach. It's just who I am. And I don't apologize for it. And he slipped up, in my opinion, multiple times because he wasn't prepared for the energy and he wasn't prepared for the way I asked the question. But people are too blinded by their hate for me to see the information that came out of that interview.
Well, you pressed him about a point of him having Sebastian Rogers post.
Dude, I'm going to say it again. You are not that motherfucking important. I know you think you're important. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, for real. He thinks he's like all high and mighty and shit. Dude, you're nobody. Nobody gives a fuck.
Poster behind him on the StreamYard. Now,
yes, because sorry, go ahead.
Did it warrant that? Did he just? Do you think he deserved to get pressed that hard on having that picture behind him?
Yes, 100%. Because every time he goes into anybody's chat, he always tells everybody, please put it on your channel. Please post it on your channel. Every time he does his money-a-thons where he complains about everybody else except talk about Sebastian, in my opinion, never has a picture of Sebastian up. When he's wearing a shirt out and doing a search for Sebastian, rarely is it a Sebastian shirt. So my point was, how are you and the other set of parents going around talking about you want everybody to spread this information about your son, but you yourselves aren't even putting it on y'all's own page. And the other set of parents don't even have a page, but they sure are in the background talking to creators. That's weird to me. Sorry, I call it how I see it. That's just my opinion. Other people can disagree.
Okay, so yeah, you said you're on another. So you're on a new medication. So that couple days right there, that was like a manic phase or something. Like you're not saying
bro, I had a heart attack, bro. I was in the hospital for 4 days. 2 of which
Oh,
I was
Lord.
transferred from one hospital to a level 1, bro. Like and I'm not using it as an excuse. They started me on anti-seizure medications because I was having seizures that dropped me to the ground. In the meantime, I'm stuttering. I had a heart attack in the middle of all of it. It is what it is. Please just know I'm not lying. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put them under the bus, but
no, I don't think anybody has.
I think you're lying. Sorry, but I do. I think you're totally full of shit. Prove me wrong.
To quantify, I mean, you went live from the hospital.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the medicine was not mental health medicine. It's anti-seizure medicine that they were giving to me with injections in my stomach to keep me from having seizures. It's called Kepprin. You can Google it and look up Kepprin effect on autism and look at Kepprin effect in general. It's called Kepprin Rage, and I knew nothing about it when it was prescribed to me. I quit taking it. I think I'm on day 4 now, where I literally threw it away. I've had 4 or 5 seizures since I stopped taking it because you're.
He's had 4 or 5 seizures since he stopped taking it. Okay, dude. Sure you did. Like, no, you didn't. You've been live constantly. And if it was 4 days ago, then you wouldn't have, oh, are you really? You wouldn't have had rage if it was 4 days ago, because that's when this started. So make up your mind.
Not supposed to stop it that way, but I was tired of the rage constantly. It's not a lie. It's not an excuse. It's the fucking truth. I still hold to the fact that I'm responsible for my words. I'm responsible for what I said, and people have every right to disagree with me in any way they want to, and I accept that.
Yeah, you go. I think, in my opinion, you go a little bit too hard on the women, man. Like in a
Mhm.
sense where you want to pull. You said something about pulling up on a girl.
Who? When?
I don't know what girl it was, but the way you so it was on your own live, and it was the one of the day. It was the night that you're kind of going pretty crazy, and you said, "Yo, bitch, I'll fucking pull up." And I'm like, "Oh my god, dude."
Yo, because I say bitch doesn't mean I'm talking to a female.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I say that's a word we use constantly between. I might have been talking about Illuminati at that point, just honestly, because it's bitch everything. There's no disrespect.
No,
over
you
here.
weren't talking about her at that point. It was. I think it might have been the girl that's backstage. The Crimson
Oh
Tide
no,
girl.
because see, here's the thing. What I'm not going to do is give her any type of my energy. So I will jump down for her because she's loonier than a shitstorm. I ain't got no time for it. So respectfully, I'm not going to
He's talking about UA being backstage.
disrespect
No,
your
I'm
dad like
no,
that.
I'm not. Yeah, you go ahead. She's not coming up yet, but she could talk after if she
Oh,
wants.
for
But
sure. But yeah, she has every right to talk her lies if she wants to. But I'm not going to sit up here and go back and forth with someone that's just never mind. It is what it is. I got my own community that's in the process of trying to keep themselves together because of all the lies and the bullshit that's being pushed. Because I stood on what I believed. I
did
said
you
it
talk to
wrong.
the FBI about the case?
I talked to the necessary people I needed to talk to.
Man, that's a good answer. You've been PR trained, brother. Who's PRing you over there?
I'm just someone who doesn't talk to anybody without an attorney, and I'm definitely not going to put myself in a situation that's going to get me sued or fucking killed.
Come on, New Age. You're fucking smarter than this. Call this motherfucker out on this bullshit.
So if okay, let's say if this was a different case, you might would have a lot of. It might be a different situation though. You ever think about that truth? Like, let's say if this was the little dirt case, and you come out with some information that nobody knows about, and you give it to the world, that could cause an issue. Could
Yeah,
affect the case.
but we're talking now. We're talking about a child's case. That why should any parent of a missing child be telling secrets to YouTubers? Why?
Can I
That's a
ask
good
you?
point.
Can,
That's a good point.
can I chime?
Do yourself a favor. No, do not ever trust a motherfucker like this with anything. Nothing. What a piece of shit.
Chime in on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just ask a question, right? And I mean, Truth and I haven't talked about this because
No, we haven't yet.
we both been kind of in our feelings about things, and it is what it is.
Rightfully so.
Do you think the parents of a missing child should be able to talk to people, and those people keep those things held in confidence if there is no benefit to the public knowing them? Just that's my question.
I do, because we've had this conversation before, right? I do. But when a parent is actively still going behind the scenes to, in their own words, correct a narrative, then I no longer hold any dedication or loyalty to who, with all intensity, was the last person to be with Sebastian and lives with the last person to be with Sebastian. And the comments simply could not and did not sit well on me for well over 2 years. There wasn't a secret about that. But because I did feel like that when I was told that it would hurt him or his case if we talked about it, I believed that. The same way I believed many times when we were told things were going to happen and this was going to happen and this was going to happen, and it never did. You get to a point where you start looking at someone like, why do you keep lying? There's where I changed my opinion on whether or not it helps or not, because how do I know that they're not self-snitching on themselves in ways that I wouldn't know because I'm keeping quiet because they used the threat of it hurting Sebastian as the reason I need to be quiet or anybody else. And I think that's fucked up, especially them knowing that I'm autistic, knowing that he sought me out. I didn't seek him out. I've always wondered, why did you seek me out? And out of everybody, You got in contact with y'all. He got in contact with y'all to get in touch with me. And that was always weird. Why? I was a tiny channel and I had just gotten my channel started with clues people pushing me. You know? And 3 years later, man, I'm a lot more educated on this social media shit. And I look at things differently. And I don't like what I see.
He has been on TikTok and Instagram for years. That's social media. He ran like a cult-like channel on TikTok. Let's stop the bullshit. Like, oh my God, I was so uneducated.
And I think Sebastian deserves to have a voice. Listen, they're the ones who came on and said, Chris himself said, if y'all really knew about Sebastian, y'all would stop looking for him. Said that to the father. Like, what do you, I don't understand.
Well, so here's my thing though, right? Is this is my exact point. There's a lot of things that have been said that can't be verified. And I mean, quite honestly, Seth has said a lot of things that have gotten spun differently later. And that's a key one that a lot of people have played on. He has come out here and said that Chris said that, but it's never been vetted because quite honestly, the only people that could ever vet that would be Seth or Chris and anybody that was privy to that conversation. You know what I mean?
No, it was on a panel.
Okay.
It was on a panel. He said it on a panel. I mean,
okay.
For a fact he did.
Okay. I just don't, I don't remember that.
Prove it. I can say that Cletus told me he was giving me $1 million on a panel. It doesn't mean it's true. Prove it. Prove Cletus said that. Prove that Chris said that. Chris did say it on a panel. Okay. See, some people are saying he didn't.
You know, that's all I'm saying.
I got another question, Truth. Do you believe everything that you were told?
By who?
By the information that you gave out on that live, everything that you said, do you believe all that? Or any of it?
I mean, with all due respect, you got to be more specific.
Okay, well, you talked about the I don't even, it's so, dude, it's so
okay. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about, yeah.
Do I
Oh, Seth said it on a panel, not Chris. Okay, I gotcha.
believe that those events occurred?
Yeah.
Well, the mother said they did. So yes.
Oh my God.
Point blank and simple. I said what I said. I'm not lying. I'll say it again, 10 toes down, no disrespect to anybody. The mother said it on a phone call.
Why is the bigger channel, why no one covering what you're talking about? Because dude, this is a bombshell.
I can't be responsible for what other people say or don't.
Okay, now I missed it last night and I missed it again today. What bombshell? What's the big bombshell? What am I missing? Because I'm like reading comments and I'm losing it. What is the big bombshell?
Say, bro. And this is why I don't want to do this, because it puts such a bad situation. I choose not to do this.
Thank you, Pick Me. He told himself he didn't have a heart attack after 1 day hospital visit. He's a pathological liar. I agree with that, Indy. Thank you, April. That Sebastian had behavioral issues. That's the big bombshell? That's what everyone's talking about? That's what they're talking about? We all know he had behavioral issues. You don't even have to follow the case that well, and you knew that.
Anymore right now.
You feel like you're in a trick bag right now.
Yeah, real bad. And it's like a washing machine.
Bro, I don't know you. I think what you, dude, it's crazy. It's.
But I have a hard time believing that 4 guys don't know what a code word is. They've never been a mom who walked on their kid jerking off. Sorry, not sorry. But I'm sorry. I should have had a code word. Because I once walked in on them. Not fun. It's embarrassing for me. It's embarrassing for them. Code word would have been nice.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I get
It's
what you're
crazy.
saying, and from your perspective, I understand why you're looking at it the way you are. And mind you, I have not looked at your chat, so I have no idea what anybody's saying. I'm talking to the people on the panel. I'm just simply saying, bro, I'm going to stand on what I know I heard with my own ears, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think Plug, respectfully, right? Like you said, you don't know, you're not up to speed on it, right? And I think to jump in on the most recent,
It has absolutely nothing to do with anything at all. Okay, there was no bombshell. Chris flirted with Granny and it was a code word. And both those are alleged.
and then try to catch up, probably.
But let me
It's
ask you
probably
something,
going to
Cletus.
spin
Let me
you.
ask you something, Cletus. What Elevated Truth just came out with the other day? That's the biggest thing, and this is from an outside person in true crime that doesn't know the Sebastian Roger case like anybody in the chat or you guys do. But from looking in, this is the biggest thing I've seen in this case for a long since Crabtree got caught with the cocaine. This is the biggest thing I've seen.
That's the part I'm talking about. What's the biggest thing he's seen? That Sebastian had behavioral issues? That's where I'm lost. I'm like, did I miss something? And I went back last night and I tried to listen, and I don't know what the fuck I'm missing here. What is the biggest thing since sliced bread?
So let me ask you this.
Allegedly,
Right?
not really. I'm just Crabtree knows I'm joking. Go ahead.
So let me ask you this. In terms of sensationalism and things for people to talk about, I don't disagree with you. Of course, it's sensational and people are going to talk about it. But in terms of actually finding the child that's missing, is it really the biggest thing?
So
Does it
far,
lead?
I think information wise, I probably worded that wrong, Cletus. But you were right about content or like new. It's like a headline. Like
But it
we
didn't.
haven't had anything.
Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me tell you one thing I've learned about GW over the years, and I didn't learn this until very, very recently. Because I've always seen her as very logical and very street smart, she's very naive in a sense. And naive's not the right word. She's very innocent in a way. Like, she's not the type of person that you could I don't know the right word. I know what I'm trying to say. Maybe her close people can help me out with what I'm trying to say, but she's not as hardcore as I always thought she was, in a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. But she's very she's much softer than I thought. Yeah, her empathy, she's got a lot of empathy, but she's much softer than I thought she was. I thought she was more of a hard ass, but she's not. She's very soft. And that's not a bad thing. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a good way.
Good.
I did, but see, here's the thing, bro. This did not help me. This did in no way coming out with this did it help me, assist me, grow my channel. It has destroyed my channel for the.
But again, I ask, what in the fuck did he come out with? Like, I still don't know what the fuck he came out with that they keep talking about. What did you come out with other than a bunch of fucking bullshit?
Actually, other than my real hardcore people that believe in me and so on. But as far as like this did not, there was nothing about this that did me anything good coming out with it. And I knew that before I came out with it, and I still made the decision to stand on what I did. I don't know how else to put it. Anybody can think whatever they want to about me. And I don't think that it should be discussed without you having some background, maybe in the background, because like I said, there are other things that I haven't said and other people haven't said out of respect, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, straight talkers, everything he said was bullshit. Like, nothing he said means shit. So they keep talking about this big bombshell, everything he said. And what did you fucking say? You didn't say anything. You said a bunch of crap. That's it.
There's context to it.
There's more. Wait a minute. Hold up. No. There's
Yeah,
more.
I said, bro, listen, I'm not gonna get
Don't
myself.
say it. Don't say it. But that's.
No, what I'm saying is when you asked just a second ago, do I feel like I'm being put into, not necessarily on purpose, but a position? You feel what I'm saying? I don't like the way this is, because not even on your doing, but like it's gonna put me and people I care about against each other unnecessarily, when what Cletus said is right. Anything that I may think is important, I think it's important that I talk about it with people who would be able to judge whether it needs to go to the public or not. Does that make sense? Because I don't always make the best decision whether something should go to the public or not.
Why did the Proudfoots feel so comfortable to tell you this stuff?
The Proudfoot saw me as an autistic person they could control, in my opinion. That's my opinion, bro.
All right, look. When I heard that, I had a laugh. Nobody fucking looked at you like that, you fucking moron. But I understand why Clue and Cletus are being very, very careful right now. And I don't think anyone should judge them for it, because they probably trusted Truth with their own secrets and their own personal issues, that if they fuck with him the wrong way, he's going to out everything that they've ever told him. Think about that for a second. So I don't fault them per se.
And they didn't realize that I'm a smart motherfucker, just like a lot of other people don't realize I'm a smart motherfucker. And I grew up on the streets. It is what it is. I can't put it any other way. They underestimated me. And I'm not here to be a badass. I'm simply here I should have never said it in the first place, according to everybody, right? But for me, my soul, and to be able to know that I at least spoke up for, maybe Sebastian needed somebody. I don't know, bro. It happened. It came out of my mouth. I said it because it was true. I can't give anything else to it but that. It wasn't to fuck over any of my, huh?
Do you think you're painting Sebastian into a negative light with some of the comments that were said too? That's another thing that's been talked around with the community. Like some details that shouldn't have been out. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you painted him? Like, because you're saying how one household looked at him, and then you were saying how the other one did. So it was like,
I don't think that's anything that I've painted. I think that is a community-wide observation that may be different now because I brought light to it, and it's not what people want to talk about or agree with me with. But that's not something that I just came out of thin air with. You see what I'm saying? Like, see, and this same thing went down with, I ask hard questions. Questions people don't like because they sound effing horrible. But there's nothing pretty about missing children's crimes or pedophile crimes. There's nothing pretty about that. And it takes somebody who does not give a fuck to actually ask the questions. And it offends a lot of people when they do that. Here's the thing. I don't care. I want that damn answer. That's it. And if I'm wrong for that, I'm wrong for that. And I'm not the creator for you to follow. It's that simple. It's nothing more and nothing less. I was Team Sebastian when I came onto this damn thing, and I will leave Team Sebastian if that means that, I lose anybody or whatever that I think are good people in the process. I'm willing to do that. If it means losing my channel to speak the truth, I'm willing to do that. That's it.
Even if it took, painting him out to be a predator?
That's a real sideways question to ask, because you're saying painting him out to be, and I don't wish to speak on anything anymore on that sort. And I hope you understand what I'm saying.
No. I hear what you're saying, bro. But yeah,
trust me, this don't feel good. This don't feel good, bro. There's nothing about this that feels good. There's nothing about this that's been this has been absolutely miserable since I opened my mouth. When Cletus did say one thing that was very true, and Clue said it on her panel, that if I came out and said this, it was going to be channel suicide.
Yes, this live is last night. Channel suicide for what? You did not say anything worth a fuck. I feel like I'm dealing with a bunch of fucking morons. You said nothing. You said stuff that the whole fucking world knows already. Nobody gives a shit. Like, seriously, nobody fucking cares if Sebastian was a bad kid or if Sebastian, did this. Again, you can't answer the two fucking questions that matter. Did they do something and where is he? Without those two answers, nothing else fucking matters. The rest is complete bullshit.
And they are damn well probably right. But at the end of the day, like I said, that's a lot that I held on my soul. It felt wrong to me. I don't know if it means anything. But at the end of the day, maybe Sebastian wanted to say something, couldn't. We don't know because we don't know where he is. And there should never be secrets, the words secrets, between a missing child's parents.
Actually, the lesson to be learned is not that there shouldn't be secrets and everything belongs on the internet. The lesson to be learned is don't ever fuck with a narcissist. Don't ever fuck with a pussy ass, punk ass little bitch boy like Truth. That's what you need to remember.
And social media YouTubers, and then expect that those, quote, secrets aren't going to be told.
Well, I think the information.
I have never released private secrets of anybody. Nobody. You don't fucking do that. If someone trusts you, then they trust you. Again, I've said it before. Me and Granny had some blowout fights over the years. Guess who's never released anything of private shit that she's told me? Never had to record her. She never had to record me. She knows she can talk to me and I won't fucking release it. Now, that we're friends again. She knows that she can tell me and I will not release it, and vice versa. And that's somebody that I fought with on and off for 5 years. Even fucking Queen Bee knows she could tell me something and I won't release it. People that release this kind of shit are punk ass little fucking bitches.
Information that we would want is something for us to go on to look for them. Like the little side stuff was, I don't know, it's kind of, some people think it was not tasteful. It was, it was not appropriate to say, but that's, you know what I mean?
What is appropriate, brother? Respectfully.
To go one step further, even the fucking psycho bitch that released my ex-mod, that released my CPS shit, guess who still, to this day, never got revenge? That would be me. Guess who never released anything on that girl? That would be me. So no matter how much you hurt me, I'm still not going to go to those fucking lengths because that's just not who I am.
That's, I guess that's subjective, ain't it?
Is that appropriate from a survivor's point of view, or is that appropriate from a, everyday, never had an issue point of view, or is that appropriate from a prisoner's point of view or a convict's point of view, or is it a sex offender's point of view?
Can I chime in on that?
Go ahead, Cletus.
I think for me personally, it's from a missing child's point of view that may come home and hear what's said on the internet, right? And I mean, like I said, I'm guilty of saying some pretty foul stuff, right? I know that. But in retrospect, I've also learned a lot of things. And I think that at the end of the day, that's what we've all got to judge, is if this missing child comes home and has to live with what has been said about them online, I think everybody's conscience has got to weigh in on that.
I agree with that 110%. And you know that I do understand that. Would you, and I don't want to go back and forth, would you agree with that? I don't need you to do that, right? I just like, when Cletus and I need to talk, we'll eventually talk. That's still my friend. We disagree greatly. I'm not happy with certain things, but I still got mad love for Cletus and
Hey,
Clue.
Cletus said you're the same person.
I'm not happy with certain things that Cletus is doing. He's always a victim. Always.
Person online is offline. I respect
I
that.
am. There's no differences. I am. This is me.
I
And it's
think you
like
do. I
people.
think you do got a screw loose, but hey,
I mean, a screw loose may be listen, let me explain something, brother. When you're made by monsters, no, hold on. When you're made by monsters, you must become a monster to survive those monsters. You just choose what to do with those monstrous ways. I choose to do it to fight for the better. It may not be how everybody else does it, but I have no problem being that one that is that guy. I don't care.
we want the
They
life story, bro. We want the full life story.
never will give it because the only thing I'll
Oh
tell you is,
shit!
no,
Oh
listen, I'm just being
shit!
straight up with you. It's not about me. It's about Sebastian. It's not about, it's about these, it's not about me. Simple as that. I'm just a random person on the internet who has a life story that I share on my platform. But with all due respect, you know, you got people in the chat that just don't
Well,
want to
if it's
hear
touched on
anything.
Sebastian, why is no one looking for him anymore?
That's why I brought up, why do you think I started talking about him? And all of a sudden now everybody's fucking
Was it
posting his
my alien
posters.
question? No, this is my other question. Remember when you were on?
So that's why he did it, guys. He did it just so everyone would start talking about Sebastian again. Imagine that. What a wonderful guy you are. What a fucking trash bag.
On our pod, I might have stirred this up because I hit you with that alien question, right? And then you left
Yeah.
and you went and did a live about Sebastian.
No, see, y'all are trying to, this is some sly. Listen, here's the deal. I say I'm not no dummy, right? So at the end of the day, I made a decision after holding some shit in for whatever long period it was, after figuring out the campaign that was pushed against me based on a lie, okay, that I was this predator, I was this dangerous person, blah, blah, blah. It all came out a year and a half later. And when it all came out, yeah, man, I fucking was in a real fucked up place about it. Then I end up in the hospital, that whole situation. And I come out after being in there, not knowing whether I was going to make it out, not knowing whether I had, with the blood that I had.
Give me a fucking break. The dude was in there like one day. He was live. He said he was in a hospital for 4 days. No, you weren't. You were in there for like one day.
My brain was from a brain bleed or from when I hit my head. I haven't even talked to my audience about it. You feel what I'm saying? So
Now he had a brain bleed. Okay, truth. Now he had a brain bleed from banging his head. Oh my God, this shit doesn't end.
when I'm laying there, what the fuck you gonna do when you're laying on your back in a hospital bed? Can't move it really. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, my wife would sneak me out just to keep it real. But you got a lot of time to think.
How would your wife sneak you out if you had a brain bleed? Get the fuck out of here. Like, he thinks everybody is fucking retarded. No, we're not the fucking girls that you can, manipulate. No, sorry.
And when I came out, man, I don't know whether it was the medicine or whatever. I like I said, I quit taking that shit 4 or 5 days ago, and it's been hell since. But I didn't like who I was becoming. And that doesn't change the truth of what I said. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fucked up in the way that I said it. I should have fucking been more caring and careful. But I do believe that I do believe that it came from the right place from my perspective. And
No, it's because your little bitch boy ass wanted attention. That's all it was. But as far as Dolly goes, Miss Fletcher, I said the same thing. I said, Dolly had a heart attack. He changed his whole life. everyone I know that actually had a heart attack changed their entire fucking life the next day. I remember my dad had a heart attack and he was 54 and the doctor said, "Do you smoke?" And he said, "Nope." And he said, "When did you quit?" My dad said, "About 2 hours ago." Like you just change your whole life.
Apologize to anybody that it did offend, right? And I talked about all this on my live earlier when I did my
I think they only
apology.
want. I think the Proudfoots are the only ones that want an apology, right?
No, they can kiss my ass. They're not getting an apology from me.
Whoa! Why? Why not?
When they bring their son home or help bring their son home, they'll get an apology from me. When I see that they're actually doing something.
He did. It was funny. And back then, this was like it was 1995. So you could still like smoke in hospitals and shit. But he was like, "Up, I quit 2 hours ago."
Something to look for their child, they'll get an apology. That's my personal opinion.
Why is Seth not getting the same energy?
Fuck Seth too. It's been fuck Seth forever. What do you mean?
So wait a minute. But they gave you okay. So you're not really taking accountability for what you said. You're just kind of just like, you know what, fuck it. I would do it again if I had to.
No. I would do it much differently. But when I'm talking about, but when I'm talking about, I didn't ask for Katie to say those things and put that into my soul. I didn't ask for that, bro. She said that shit and put it out there into people's soul. I didn't ask that. I didn't ask for none of that. I didn't ask her to tell things that were so personal and then told not to come online about it. I didn't ask for any of that. Those weren't the conversations that I was asking about. That's conversations they went on.
The thing is, though, most of that fundraiser was Granny's own people. The dog's banging on the window. Most of that fundraiser was Granny's own people.
I could tell you, I bet you they regret telling you anything because now they're in a weird position, you know.
Well, I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they should have kept it to talking to news outlets and not going behind the scenes to every YouTuber and starting shit between people when you should be looking for your child. I'm just keeping it 100, bro. Like, that's my perspective.
Okay, another thing too. I know we're on Kick now too. And things are. I know you've already been on Kick, but your name is Truth. Would you ever take a lie detector test?
First of all, feds up. What?
No.
Can I just tell you guys something funny? So all of a sudden I hear this like tapping on the window. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I realized the dogs were outside. So I look and I see one of the big dogs banging on the window. So I go outside to let them in and they both come running in. It's just starting to rain. I was like, oh, my poor little babies. But yeah, they're good. They're all inside now. It was just cute. They were like banging on the door, like banging on the window, like, let me the fuck in. It's starting to rain.
No, not for me. No. You do it yourself. You get it all. Do it on your live stream.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Let's get back to reality.
And only about Sebastian Rogers. I don't give a fuck about your personal life. Only about what's been said. Because what's been said has been some crazy shit, bro.
Right? How about this? I'll answer it just like this for you, okay? When see, this is where it's gonna put me in a fucked up position.
Go back and hear what? About the lie detector? I heard that. Indy, what am I listening for?
All right. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna shut up, okay? Because yeah, I feel like this is not proactive in any way. This is coming at me like I'm a liar.
No. I just want transparency, man. That's all we're trying to hear, bro.
Transparency to ask other people that were involved for their transparency. How about that?
So just information other people do know for sure.
1 billion%. 1 billion gazillion %. I'm done. I'm listening. This is not throwing
anybody
under the bus.
Yeah, I know we're talking about. Okay.
This is crazy, bro. Like I'm not here to do that. I'm not here. I literally am trying to help the best I can keep Sebastian a priority. I said what I said. Should I have said it? Probably fucking not. But I did. What do you want me to do from here? I told the truth. That's the whole thing. I didn't lie. You said elevated truth. Are you willing to take a lie detector test? I told the fucking truth, bro. So what's wrong with saying the truth about a missing child?
Well, you're in a weird position too because you're holding information as well.
Do you think it's okay? Oh yeah,
I don't think you
yeah,
should say it, but you're in a weird position because so it goes against it's contradicting. You're being transparent with the information to help find Sebastian, but you're holding information at the same time. So so
You
the
see how
FBI knows does the
New Age, he's not holding shit except his own fucking dick in his hands. That's it. That's the only thing this motherfucker is holding.
FBI know the information you're holding?
you see how this conversation would work better if you had a conference with like other people and not in front of 1,000 people, where I don't think this is going to help the case in any way to discuss this back and forth. It's just going to make me look like a liar that's holding information, and only me. You see what I'm saying? Like this doesn't do anything but make me look like more of a piece of shit when I'd be willing to talk to you. But I don't think the things that I'd be willing to talk to you should go out to the public. The same way as I shouldn't have said what I said, because for 2 fucking years I stood up for nobody better fucking say that shit. And I'm the one that ended up doing it. I feel like a fucking asshole for it, but it came out and it happened. I don't know what anybody wants me to do about it other than take accountability for it.
Well, you said fuck the Proudfoots.
Well, I do think, listen, bro, for many reasons other than what we're talking about. Why shouldn't it be? Why shouldn't it be fuck all the parents until they find their kid? Why not?
Because it's
that's a fucking excellent point. Who just said that? Jenny. I thought he was against secrets, so why would he want to talk in private? That's such a great fucking point. How come he wants to talk to them behind the scenes? Isn't that talking in private? Why would you tell some strangers who are criminals, really? I mean, they're ex-felons. Why would you give them your inside secrets, asshole? Just curious. Because, I mean, if I have inside secrets, I'm going to tell a bunch of ex-cons. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
It's hard for me to do that, for both sides. I give them both benefit of the doubt,
Okay, well, but with respect, you haven't been following the case like that either, and you haven't.
Oh, I know that, Lindsay. You know that, Lindsay. My chat knows that, but a lot of people don't, unfortunately.
Had personal conversations with either side.
That is true. That is true.
I'm disgusting. You see the chat? Like, here's the problem. He's streaming this too. Yes, Cromer Reels. I got permission to. What are y'all talking? I was in the middle of my live.
I don't care. I don't care too. I don't care about the just radar kick after you're done. I like so the reason for that, because to do back and forth. Yeah, you're on here right now. You could be on your shit. I don't care. It's okay. But no,
I was in the middle of my live when I was told we wanted to talk, so I wasn't just going to shut my shit down, and you know what I mean? Like, I was just trying to see what was up, but this is a real uncomfortable thing for me because it's really quiet on the panel, and I don't feel comfortable with how quiet it is. So, with all due respect to you, if you'd like to have it, I'm just telling you, I'm being real.
Yeah, I know.
If you want to have a conversation off of here, I'm just not in the game to keep getting smashed every fucking day, and all this right here will be turned into 900 clips and all used against me for what? Because I spoke the truth about something that was uncomfortable. That's it. And because I betrayed the trust of a missing child's parent. I mean, listen, you're not going to make me feel bad.
My opinion on that, and this is just my opinion, exactly, Bex. He's saying it's quiet because Cletus is not up there going, save me or confirm this, or Cletus is just sitting back being quiet like Stream is. And I think New Age is doing an absolutely phenomenal job of calling him out on bullshit, but not really saying too much. I absolutely give him credit for that. I think he did a fucking awesome job with this. I couldn't have kept my mouth shut. I'm like you guys. I would have called him out on 15,000 fucking things.
bad. No one's gonna make me feel bad for that. If that makes me an asshole, don't follow me. Don't fucking come to my channel. Don't listen to me. There's 9 billion channels you can do. I'm not even on fucking YouTube. I'm on Kick. I've been on Kick. YouTube's been
Like, and honestly, the best way to interview someone is to let them talk. I just couldn't do it. Like, he really did a fucking awesome job with this because I wouldn't have gotten this far. I would have called him out on fucking all the bullshit.
coming to Kick and fucking with me. Leaving this. Fuck.
So, yeah, no, man, bro, you're on the hot seat, bro. You answering you're answering the questions. It's just, we got to know. The chat's actually saying I'm not doing hard enough questions.
Okay, well, am I a suspect? Like the fuck? What kind of
Yeah,
questions?
dude, you guys, let me get your side by side mugshot, man. You're
Bro, I'm a real smart ass, so I'm not because
You
I'm
want
about
some
to start
McDonald's?
being. I'm like, we can go back if I'm a smart ass. I don't want to be that way because I do got respect for you guys and what y'all do. I've said that continuously, but I'm also trying to get the same respect of I don't feel like it's necessary to continue this charade, so to speak. And it's just pushing me against the people that I care about more because I stood out at a certain point. I don't feel like it's going to create anything good. It's just going to create content. I'm not here to create content. If I was here to create content,
I thought that's
He's not here to create content. He's here to sell $5 items for $90. That's what he's here to do. He's here to scam people.
so you do the content on your lives though.
I do IRL. There's this where no one's explained to y'all the difference between what Kick is and YouTube is. Kick is not YouTube in any way, shape, or form. IRL streaming is where you see everything the person's doing during a 10-hour period. Like, it's not like you're doing a show and getting off. That's why I do 90 hours, 80 hours of streaming.
IRL streaming is in real life. You can be on for an hour. It's still IRL. YouTube is still IRL. Anytime someone streams is IRL. It means that they're streaming their life. They don't have a specific fucking topic. They're just streaming their life. That's what in real life is. It's pretty fucking self-explanatory.
A week. You can literally go check my analytics. There are channels that put it out because they want to talk about it all the time.
That's probably what caused did so many lies, you went manic.
No, I just work really hard, bro. I'm a hard worker. I also see it does this.
No,
Listen,
I
bro,
get
I'm
that.
feeling a
I get
little
that.
bit of I feel like it's being a little bit of a joke, and I take my shit very seriously. I'm not trying to be rude to you, but like, I take what I believe very seriously. I take my hard work very seriously. And I also have businesses outside of this. So I'm a grown man that doesn't need to sit and explain myself to people who don't give a not necessarily you, but people in the chat that don't actually give a shit what I have to say. It's a waste of my breath and it's a waste of time.
Yeah, the chat's going in on you, bro. Holy
That's fine,
shit,
bro. I don't care. That's the thing. But like I said, I'm not gonna sit up here with a silent panel and get beat up. So with respect, I appreciate you. If you want to talk offline, I'll be more than glad to speak with you. If you wanted to come back and say whatever you want to afterwards, that's your choice. But I'm not going to sit up here and disrespect people I care about, nor am I going to continue to cause more drama for myself for no reason whatsoever for other people to benefit off of it. I'm just not going to do it. Because if you know anything about Kick, clicks and views don't matter. That's not how it works over here.
Clicks and views matter on Kick. You get paid for chat interaction. So that's fucking bullshit. The better your numbers are, the more money you make. Let's stop the fucking game. Whether it's YouTube, am I like the only fucking honest motherfucker out here? Everything is about clicks and views. Period. End of story. We get paid for interaction. We get paid the longer we stay online. Let's stop the fucking games.
Interaction with your crowd. It's the only way you make money over here. Clicks and views don't mean shit.
Dude, I give.
You can't interact if you don't have the clicks and views. You can't interact if you don't get the views. People are going to find you just to see what your shit's about, and they're going to watch you. You may not make money on it after the fact, but you're going to get new subscribers. Period. End of.
What you're saying. I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to beef. We're just trying to get. There's
Body,
just
I'm not
questions
trying
that
to
we want to
talk.
ask you. You just did one of the big. In my opinion, maybe I'm not into the Sebastian Rogers case like that, but from my opinion, this is literally the biggest bombshell in a minute since we got the freaking footage of the Miss Proudfoot in the restaurant when Dog the Bounty Hunter put it out. In my opinion, so that's why these questions are important, bro.
They might be important, but they're not going to do anything but give people more shit to come at me about. All right. And here's the thing. If you think that I'm not standing, I've got some of my support still, right? They're obviously over here, but I'm watching so many of my own people in your chat going against me that they don't even agree with what I'm doing. I'm still going to stand on what I said. Like I said before, should I then everybody's like, then shut the fuck up. Cool. I will. I can find myself off the stage. Not a big deal. I was asked to come over. So, like I said, I don't owe anybody anything except Sebastian. Should I have said it differently? Yes. Was I tired?
Don't take this the wrong way, but you don't know Sebastian anything. You don't even fucking know the kid. You didn't know him when he was here. You don't know him when he's gone. So technically speaking, you really don't know him anything either. Stop trying to use Sebastian in your manipulative gaslighting bullshit because you don't owe Sebastian anything.
Tired of holding that shit in when I thought it was some real weird shit? Yes. That's it. Was I aware that it could be channel suicide if I did it? Yeah, I do. But in the end, maybe it'll be something, maybe it won't. But my soul is a little bit more cleansed by it. And I think it's funny that it was said that the parents acted like it wasn't true and it didn't happen, and no one's paying attention to that, right? No one's paying attention to that. They play out lied on the panel that it didn't happen. And there wasn't a code word when there absolutely was.
Who gives a fuck? It does not matter. Who cares if there was a fucking code word for a 15-year-old boy jerking off? Big fucking deal. You're not even a mom. Like, that's the sad part. You're not even a mom. You're not a dad. You know fucking nothing.
One last question.
Yeah.
If you know, we're all hoping that this is like what everyone's hoping, and this would be like the fairy tale ending. If Sebastian comes back when he's 18 years old, you think he would be happy with the stuff that you put out?
I think what I put out would be the least of the things he was worried about that people have said, including his own parents and his own dad, who just.
Bitch, you said he made his own mother pregnant. What the fuck are you talking about? That came from you. Nobody else. From you.
Who described his essay in detail on a panel. So, no, I don't think it's the worst thing that's been put out. Like the same way as his father acted like he was jerking himself on a panel and thought it was funny. No, I don't think it's the worst thing that put out. Although, unfortunately, it does, you know, I don't know. Nothing I say is going to help. That really and truly. People have had a lot of.
That is the truest words he has said all day. Nothing he says is going to help. Remember that.
Questions. Everybody's mumbled under the scenes, and then all of a sudden they act like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Miss me with all that bullshit, because half the fucking creators knew, half the fucking audiences knew about it. They just hadn't talked about it out in public, and that's just the simple truth.
And the actual simple truth is none of this is anything more than he needed his narcissistic supply. He wasn't getting attention, and he needed a way to get that narcissistic supply where he got attention. And oh boy, did he get it. And that's all he needed until the next time.
So I'll keep taking all the heat. I appreciate you having me up here. Y'all use me to hate me. I have no problem with that. Don't give a damn. Y'all keep saying it doesn't help anything, so why? But yet, what are y'all doing? What the fuck are y'all doing?
That's a good question. Why is the searching stopped? You know.
Well, you don't search for something that's not missing, and I'll leave it at
Bitch, the searching stopped, and you fucking know this truth because of lawsuits. Everyone was getting fucking sued. People are in court. Seth is suing. Everybody's fucking suing. That's why it stopped. We all know this. Anyone that's followed the case even a little knows this. It was the fucking lawsuits that made it stop.
that. I appreciate y'all.
See that's the stuff that I'm gonna cover. Like you can't say stuff like that and then expect me not wanting to know more. So he wasn't supposed to say the stuff, Cletus, right? But he did. Now we're in a position where if we don't cover it, we're not doing our jobs.
Well, I don't know. 2.5 years ago, I could see where you're coming from. I'm just being honest, right? But being in a situation, right, and actually going out, spending a lot of time actually searching, working with somebody that actually knows what the hell they're doing, right? They're they're a PI and a search and rescue person, right? You sort of get a different perspective of things. And I don't know, it's a catch-22, and I hear arguments for both sides on, anytime talking about a missing child, regardless of what the context is, it's spreading his name, and his name's getting out there. And I get that aspect, but I also look at it like, if you're really trying to do something, I don't know that that really helps. And I do know that it hurts people. You know what I mean? But I did have a question for you. You said, if you don't mind me asking, you said that this is the biggest thing that's come out since the photo of the mom at the restaurant. And why, out of curiosity, why do you feel like that was such a big thing?
Okay, so we got some. So when we were covering it, it was the body language. I know that she was trying to find a waitress, but it was, you know what it was? And now looking back in hindsight, Dog the Bounty Hunter did some shady ass fucking shit. Because look, when you're not in the case like y'all, and then you got a big channel like Dog the Bounty Hunter that posts that, right? In the way that he made it seem like that was the last time we seen Sebastian, and then walking to the car, and I forget something happened.
Oh, you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse footage.
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse.
I got you.
Yeah.
And that I can agree with, that was big, and it was important, right? Because it does show him, and I get that. I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah, go ahead, Crimson.
I was gonna say I sent you an email, actually 2 emails. One is of something that you probably haven't seen before. And I don't know that really it was covered because most of YouTube had walked away from covering Sebastian and talking about Sebastian because of the C&D. And so, I think that is important to say. I also want to say that just because parents aren't out there necessarily searching in public doesn't mean that there aren't things that are going on or that they're having people attempt to do behind the scenes. And what I sent you is evidence of that. So I think that's actually what I sent you, which would be.
I don't want to be as deep as you are in this wormhole, Crimson. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. No, last time you were up here, you brought some good information too. We were definitely intrigued by what you're saying. Well, I did. You and Truth have a beef going on. That's why I was trying to avoid that confrontation there.
Oh, I mean, he has a problem with people that have different, like, it's his way or kind of the highway. And so that's unfortunate.
Well, I was trying to get
because
him to take
that-
some accountability for the Proudfoot comment. I think at the end of the day, you have to. If he says the delivery was wrong, I should have got really more deep on that. Like, well, how could he change that delivery? Because he needs, dude. The Proudfoots now are in a weird situation. They're in a weird now. They're not going to trust anybody no more. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, he fucked up a lot of stuff. For if people that are talking to them, they're probably not going to trust you as much with information now that they. This is kind of similar to other cases. This happens all the time. Like the YouTuber. This is what AS was trying to do. Maybe this is what Truth's whole plan was to begin with. Like this is what AS was trying to do with the fucking Stern shit, but she couldn't.
I can
She
tell
ended
you
up falling
this
in love,
I can tell you this much.
allegedly.
We worked with Steve Fisher when he was here. Every single thing that he asked for from the Proudfoots was given over without a question within minutes of him asking for it. And I get a lot of crap because I don't treat Chris and Katie like, on Seth's side, right? Like, I go get my nails and my hair done with Katie because God forbid she could still be human. You know what I mean? But I can tell you this, if they do have something to hide, I don't think that it would be a very smart move for them to hire a private investigator. And I'm talking about sensitive information, right? That he's asked for, no problem.
correct.
Interesting. Go ahead, Cletus. You had something to say?
I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
You're like me, dude. I'm the same way. Pino, I let Pino talk, and then I wouldn't remember what I was going to say next time.
Yeah, I lock in on whatever somebody's talking about, and I'll lose my train of thought.
And your own.
Well, that too.
Did you hear some of the stuff Truth was saying? He was actually, he didn't have really like anything bad to say about you, Cletus, right there when he was on the panel.
No, I mean, Truth is a friend of mine, right? We've been friends for quite a long time, and I'm not going to sit up here and badmouth him. I mean, he and I will work our differences out offline. It is what it is.
To say that they did not hire SF is actually not true. They did hire SF. But the contract is not with the Proudfoots and SF. It's with, as Sebastian's legal guardian, SF is hired on Sebastian's behalf.
Is this the same SF?
Steve
I
Fisher
believe
with
that's
D4VD.
yeah, but okay, that blew him up, right?
No, I mean, he was, there were other cases that he's worked before. I know last time y'all were mentioning like Kylie Rodney, that was kind of a controversial, like he actually found someone that had been missing for like 10 years, doing some
so he's legit. He's not like JLR.
Yeah.
This guy, he's legit.
Yes.
And he's working for the family of Celeste in the David case.
He's working for the owner of the D4VD house that was rented out. Yeah.
Oh, the renters of the house. Okay.
The owners of the house.
The owners.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
And he uncovered a ton of stuff and has like it all chronicled, like all in like chronological order, color coded and everything. Like, uncovered a ton of stuff in the D4VD case, and I think was very instrumental in pushing to get, that case kind of brought to where it is now. He actually had a plan. He actually was scheduled to come out here. Nashville had an ice storm, but he was scheduled to come back out here and search again. And then
Let me just state for the record, I cannot fucking stand SF. I think he's another narcissist. I think he's an asshole, and I stand by that. So, yeah. I do want to let you guys know, though, we are about to get some heavy-ass rains. It's, like, dark outside, so I may end this depending on the weather before I get zapped.
ice storm prevented him from coming out, and then D4VD kind of picked back up. But
Yeah, he came here twice.
And then he also was here another time for Riley's strain, but also went and did some stuff as well related to Sebastian. That people didn't know about until, I guess, now.
How do you feel about the stuff that Truth, all the information that came out recently? I don't think you were on the live before he said that, right? That was you were last time you were on the YouTube streets was
I was up
before
there
he
for
said
that
that.
first night. It doesn't do anything in terms of finding Sebastian. It's stuff that, I mean, what more like, as someone, what about it gave, like, since you haven't been following the case, do you feel like you learned anything that would help you get any further?
No, I don't agree with help us find them, but it's like stuff that I probably it feels like I shouldn't have known it. Like I'm feeling like it's almost like you ever listen to something like or like a jail call, and when we're listening to jail calls, I'm like, dang, I feel like I shouldn't even be listening to this. It's
But
almost
Right.
the same thing with Truth when he came out with it. I'm like, holy crap, this is like real. It's just feel like inside information that shouldn't have been out to the public, and now we're here.
Right.
yeah, and that's where I think, I mean, a lot of people are in their feelings about it, right? But one way or the other. And it is what it is. I mean, the box is open, you can't close it.
Right.
But I could, the first thing that goes through my mind is, does it move the needle? And at the end of the day, it's in my mind, when I try to think about it with emotions out of the picture, it's a situation of, we're not law enforcement, and any implication that could be taken from anything that was said is something that's strictly up to law enforcement to deal with. And if it's been given to law enforcement, then why do we need to know?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, all we're going to do is beat the hell out of each other or the parents, or go further with it than that in terms of discussion and theories and people spinning things into facts and claiming things that are fact and running with it. And then you get a big channel that picks that up, and now look what's happened, right?
Well, that's why I sent him what I did, like plug what I did, because that's something that when it came out, that's something, one, I think Katie and Chris were getting railroaded because people were saying they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. Like, we didn't see anything. And I'll say this, like, remember the second time we went out searching, we could see that the markers were different on the ties around. Like, we noticed that the markers were different, right? In that winter search versus the September search.
Yeah, where they had been back out.
So where Ellie had clearly been back out in the woods searching. So to say that Ellie isn't doing anything would have been wrong at that time. But that was the narrative and the assumption that was being pushed at the time, was Ellie isn't doing anything. It's only, one part-time deputy. Right.
Well, do you think it, one of the things that I've thought about is it's a situation where take whatever your feelings are about their ways or who they are or what their involvement is. I think the parents have come out and drawn a lot of attention to the case, and law enforcement hasn't really had much to say. And I think that's added to a lot of the speculation, personally.
Sounds like Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my one thing, though. I question the timing of Truth's. I call it a manic episode. I know he's going to get upset about it, but it is what it is. The timing, right? So we didn't know. I don't know who Truth is. I've seen him around a couple times. The AS stuff pops off. The one of the first lives I watch of him is this. So it's like now people are like, man, why are you going to cover this? This is like the first thing I've seen from him, and it's like, and everyone, has he ever done this before? Which is like information coming from a major true crime case's parents, allegedly?
Well, he's never done true crime. Before, he used to always speak in riddles, right? And put these, like, I felt like he would put these hypotheticals out or guise things as being like, it would leave the people, the audience, like, questioning with more questions than they had answers, right? Like, I didn't really see how it was kind of been like, it was under the guise of like, I'm trying to get you to think outside of the box. And I just don't, I think it left a lot of people freaking confused. For example, I know someone that sent him a photo because of Seth had come out and done an interview. And so that caused them to go and look up, a place where gaming competitions were taken or were happening in Clarksville. And they found what appeared to be a photo of Sebastian. And that turned into a speculation, rumors, let's put this out. Like, it really didn't do anything to talk about Sebastian or to bring it back to the facts of the case. I think that's where.
And just to let y'all know, he's going to eventually say everything he does know that he didn't let out, because this is he's already opened Pandora's box, and he's going to get to a situation where he's just going to, and I don't know if he's reacting to this right now, but in my opinion, I feel like he is going to spill the beans on everything he knows, and it's going to be sooner than later.
I mean, but that,
unless the medication's working.
huh.
He stays on a new medication that might be helping him.
And I've got a oceanfront property in Idaho, but yeah, I just
he would actually have to know something worth a fuck to out anything. He doesn't know anything. There's no reason. Well, there's no reason for him to say anything because he doesn't know anything.
Hold on, how you gonna compare that to that? It's easy to get prescribed medication. Come on now.
But because that's about how much I'm buying with that excuse.
Interesting.
And yeah, I had just as much as the oceanfront property. But I mean, like, if we want to like get, the thing is, I think, is now trying to mitigate damages and get it back to Sebastian. And, I think one of the things that was interesting one night, I will say this was while we were covering, like, we were watching something on Truth. He was showing when the Turpin children, do you remember the Turpin case?
I'm going to make a poll. I'm not going to make a poll. Just put a 1 in the chat. If you did not know these people and you were just tuning in for the first time, would you even fuck with this case, or would you think everybody in this case is fucking whacked? Because I know for me, I'm sorry, but I would not touch this case. If I saw all of them, I'd be like, this case is fucking crazy. These people are nuts. And no, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Snyder case.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Turpin children, there was at 12-8, like, there was a 12-18 shadowy figure that was seen in the neighborhood walking. Like, I mean, I know this surveillance, Clue and Cletus can talk about this, about how many times it took to, like.
Yeah, and Clue and Cletus can also tell you that 12-18 person is no one. It's the neighbor walking his dog.
Well, there was also someone at a different time, not the 1218 person. There was also a different a different time. The neighbor walking their dog was not 1218.
It's a neighbor. He had a new puppy. He had to take his dog out quite a few times in the night.
That was his house, but that that he passed in front of, but that was not the same time. There was another that neighbor was at 1217. Or not 1217. I can go back and get the exact time of it. But there were two people that were observed going in. But the 1218 figure was I think that here's the thing that happened after the 1218 figure came out, right? Is that there was a change in the verbiage.
Granny, had you seen this from last night? I forgot to ask you that earlier. This was bad. Like, I mean, it was good in a way because it showed who he fucking was, but it was pretty bad.
Too, because they went and changed the date that Sebastian was last seen on the official flyer.
Okay, I remember hearing about that. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was sparked, in my opinion, that was sparked by the 1218 footage.
Which has always been so weird to me because I went back and looked at a bunch of missing flyers, and 9 times out of 10, they will say on them from their home, last seen at home. I just have always found it really weird that it says in the area of Stafford Court. Like,
correct.
What do you mean? Like, why not just say at home?
Because I think that's I think
I agree with that. This is hard to listen to because, and I love you, don't get me wrong, but this is hard to listen to because that's what I feel like. I feel like everyone's trying to be an investigator, and I don't know why. That's what cops are for.
And it couldn't have been after midnight because it wouldn't be the 25th.
And that's why I'm saying I think that they went and because the date change.
Right.
Because there was some, I think that that caused that 1218 figure raised some questions.
Well, then it would have been after midnight.
Hold on, listen, let me finish. About who that could have been. I think that they originally believed that maybe that was Sebastian, and then they went back and thought maybe it's not Sebastian. Because I think it's also important, I think it's also important to talk about the bloodhound, the dogs there. There was a big controversy, did the dogs track? Did they not track? And
well, that's why I get so frustrated, because I distinctly remember meeting Seth in the construction site, and
yeah, Granny, if you happen to read the filing again, it's a lot of reading. It's like a solid 9 pages.
He absolutely said the dog tracked. He walked the track. And then months later, he comes out and says, the dog's never had a scent. Well, did you lie to us that day? Why? Why would you lie? You literally said that you walked the path the dog tracked.
But in fairness, there were also multiple dogs. So we don't know that he necessarily lied. It may just be
but if he's saying that there was no path,
that's what he said.
That's a lie.
No dogs, no scent of him anywhere is what the man said.
Right.
And it's like, what do you mean? You told us that you walked the path that the dog tracked. You literally told us that.
Yes, 12, 12, 12, 17, and 12. Yeah. There were, Claudia. That sounds right. The thing too, Plug, is I did a video with Michelle after dark, where she went over that because she's really good with dogs too. But originally,
Am I the only one that doesn't like Michelle After Dark? Not that there's anything wrong with her. I don't know. I'm just so picky about who I watch when it comes to true crime. Like, I don't know. I'm a Rotten Mango girl all day long, or a Kimberlea. I don't know. There's something about these other creators that I don't know. That's not how I want to hear true crime.
SF had come out and thought that we know that the first dog, the one that's heard jumping into the retention pond, right? Which remind me to go back to the shoe thing. But we hear about the dog jumping into the retention pond before 8, okay? And that goes back to on the dispatch audio, you can hear where they talk about a footprint and a shoe print. And when Katie was asked, all she could do was law enforcement was very specific in saying all of the shoes had been accounted for. However, I don't think that means necessarily that we have to assume, or even that law enforcement is assuming that Sebastian left barefoot. I think that it's very possible that he could have had a pair of shoes that she wasn't aware of that he would put on, because they're very particular about, how they keep their home and stuff. And if you're sneaking out at night, or, and your mom don't want your mom to know about it, then.
Hey, Jess, I got a question too that I thought of when I was reading it. So we know that your lawyer is going to charge to read an answer and do whatever he's got to do for that 19-page report. How does he bill her? Does that get added on in extra fees? Does that get added on for the damages? Did it get added on for punitive? Does it get added on for interest? Like, how does he charge her after the fact? Does he just add it on to the total billing? Because I was curious about that. Because that's a big fucking report.
You may have a pair of shoes that she doesn't know about stashed away.
So now I get what you're saying too, with Clue being there on the front line with Seth and seeing the behavior, and then seeing like catching them in your perspective, like, I don't know necessarily a lie, but maybe I don't know. But the way that you're there, that makes it, you got your own perspective. You're there. So yeah, I get it. I get what y'all are saying. We're like, oh, we were, you're on the front line. You guys, stuff wasn't adding up to you,
Well, go ahead, Clue. Sorry.
It just doesn't, like, I don't know. There's just, I don't get that, right? Like, he was so sure that, like, I'm telling you, like, the way he described it, he literally was like, the dog track, da 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 da. I went and walked the path that the dog tracked.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see him on interviews later where he's like, oh, I think Katie poisoned him. Right. And it's like, there was no scent from the dog. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. What? Like, what happened? Because you said you took off.
You guys hear that? I am going to shut this down before my computer gets zapped. But you guys hear that lightning? That's pretty bad. It's usually followed up by a second one. Oh, it's my first thunderstorm alone. Thank God it's during the day. But let me give you guys a link to this. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to eat something. Lightning doesn't make... Oh, thunder. Not lightning, thunder. But did you guys... Yeah, my phone's charging. But did you guys hear that? There's a link to this if you want to watch the rest. Do you hear that? Timestamp or what? Who's he that was so sure? He absolutely did this for his own. Oh, I think he's talking about truth. I think you guys just have two different conversations going on. So thank you guys for being here. I know there are other places you can be, and you chose to be here. We are about 40 minutes to the end. Oh, you didn't hear that? Yeah, it was pretty bad thunder. And it's like almost blackout. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. Oh, timestamp is 2:37. We just got over. Yeah, it came here then. Yeah, GW, go live. So, all right, I'm going to cut out. I will see you guys later. It might be on tonight. Probably not, though. I have candles to make. But I'll see you beautiful people tomorrow or later, either or. It depends if we have power. And I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Thank you guys for the memberships on Kick, the super chats, PayPals, Cash Apps, gifts, and everything in between. And I will see you beautiful people later. Have a wonderful night.